Cool. Well, we're live on Facebook if you want to get dialed in over there. Thanks, everybody, for tuning in to our Facebook page and our LinkedIn and YouTube as we get ready to fire up on the radio. Right?
Are you ready for the show? I said, are you ready for the show? Ladies and gentlemen, the show you all the way. Please make welcome Kurt Chase and the Automotive Edge.
Did you get it over there good? Did you do it right? I bet you didn't do it right. That might equal us, might square us up. All right. What do you need over there before you spout off your $100? $100 bet. Yes, everybody, thank you for being a part of our broadcast today.
I don't hear anything. Do you hear anything? Hello, hello, hello.
I hear everything.
Hello, 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 hello.
Dear Lord, have mercy. Lord, help me today, Jesus. I should have said my prayers before we got started. What are you doing over there?
Life is a highway. Here we go.
You're not loud enough.
Can you hear me now? Can
Now,
you hear me
let
now?
me adjust you. You just talk.
Can you hear me now?
Now we got you.
Top of the morning.
Now you're too loud.
Thanks so much for joining us here on the Automotive Edge Radio Show, the show that helps you with all of your automotive needs, whether you're buying, selling, trading, leasing, parts, service, or body shop. We're here to help. Way to go, Rangers, first place. Huh?
Yeah, I watched the game last night. They just couldn't. They actually had more hits than the Dodgers, but just couldn't put any runs across the board. But boy, LeGrom looked great at pitching.
Yep.
So did that Yamamoto. Or
Yeah.
Yamamoto.
$750 million contract.
And what did they play? They've got the other Japanese player too. They paid him $1 billion, didn't they?
Not him. Whatever their top player was, $750 million. Yeah,
Ani or something like that.
And then found out that his interpreter was
stealing money,
booking bets. Good morning, Ty Gentman. It was such a blessing to see you out at the car show last Saturday. What a day the Lord gave us with beautiful weather, nice breeze, good stuff. And I looked over him. Linda goes, "Where's Connor?" And I said, "He's right there." She's like, "Oh my God." That boy's going to be 6 foot tall and out there cranking wrenches with a daddy before he knows it.
Probably already is.
Yep. Great Saturday at Connor's Car Show. If you missed it, there's another one next year, and come on out. Yeah, we did. Good morning, Wesley Stewart.
From Florida.
Yeah.
And if you're listening to us on the radio and knowing where we're getting all this data, is we're on social media sites live streaming on Facebook, on the Automotive Edge Facebook page. And then we have a sister page, Shifting Gears. Then we're on LinkedIn under Kurt Chase. That's KurtChase. And then you can go to youtube.com/the Automotive Edge Radio Show, or go to the youtube.com and search the Automotive Edge Radio Show in case you don't do the other social media sites like Facebook and all that. And you can leave comments, ask a question, or do whatever you'd like to do there, or you can call the show at 214-787-1190.
There we go. So we got a big show. I think it's a big show. You remember Ed Sullivan?
It's a really, really big shoe.
Really big show.
Shoe. He would say shoe.
You know, they said if you wanted to make it, that you had to have
his back.
Ed Sullivan. And so I was watching a documentary on him. And you know that he told Elvis, "You can come on
But you couldn't show your stuff.
your hips."
Well, they wouldn't let. Yeah.
So the cameramen were told to keep it above his waist.
Well, I don't think they told Elvis that. I think they just told the cameraman that.
They told him to keep his gyrating to a minimum.
Oh, did they?
And that's all that was said to him. And then they told the cameraman, "Here's the deal: you don't take that thing. It stays at his belly button. Period. It'll fire everybody."
It's funny.
But he got there, and man, he walked in. He was just dominating. "I'm in control. I'll make you famous."
Mm-hmm.
And they said there was a lot of people that they'd come out and audition. You go, "No," and just get up and walk away. That was it. There was no negotiating with Ed.
So he was the early day Star Search,
Yeah.
but only a one man's decision making.
Yeah, and then the next big one to get names and everything. I remember what it was.
Was it Dick Clark?
Yeah, American Bandstand.
Mhm.
You know,
That was good too.
Yeah, but he was a little bit nicer than Ed.
Yeah, he was.
Yeah.
But you know, it's the way it went back in the day. But I tell you one thing: if you got on the Ed Sullivan Show, that was a big deal. I mean,
Yeah.
that's what catapulted the Beatles when they came.
Yep.
When they got on there, everybody in the world watched that show.
Oh yeah. And you know what is so amazing? People thought the British invasion went on for years and years and years. It was 3 years.
But they brought a lot of them at one time. You know, you had the Stones and you had the Kinks and you had all the, I don't know, a bunch of them.
Well, I know. Well, you had the Rolling Stone. Actually, you had, you know, the Beatles first, and then you had, I'm trying to think of what that guy, you know, Hermits. I mean, you had all these different bands coming, and then the Stones really
took it up a notch.
Yeah, put the, you know, here we go, British invasion on it. But a lot of people, and, you know, it was amazing. I was just so enthralled watching the old days on how things worked and came together. And I was searching old cars and what cars really built America, what brands really got people just wowed from, you know, back in the early 1900s. And then, you know, as it progressed, what was really making it. And then I went to the music revolution during the big boom in the auto industry. And it was, man, it just brought me back to some great time, great music where you could understand everything. And I was blown away by how many artists I thought it was that it wasn't.
Yeah.
You know, names you never even heard of. But anyway, it was.
Well, back then there was a lot of simpler issues. Like, for example, when I grew up, and I know everybody's going to say, "Where you born?" You know, Methuselah. Yeah, pretty close. But back in the day, it wasn't that far back in the day, believe it or not, that there was 3 TV stations.
Yeah.
You know, you had ABC, NBC, CBS, and that was it.
Yep.
And then you had what? 3 car manufacturers. You had Chevy, Ford, and Plymouth, I guess, or just Chrysler, or what?
Yeah, well, it was Chrysler, and then you
maybe had Buick,
and then Dodge came off of it. But you had, you know,
3 or 4.
Well, you had the GM, General Motors,
right? Okay.
So then you had Cadillac, Buick, Oldsmobile,
Right.
Chevrolet,
then Ford, which had Mercury and Ford,
right?
and then you had Chrysler,
And
which,
Lincoln came along,
right. Lincoln was under Ford.
Mhm.
Then you had Chrysler, which had Plymouth was under Chrysler.
Chrysler, Plymouth, and Dodge,
Right.
And then, you know, after the Willis, you know, Jeep
Right.
was gone, and then Chrysler took the brand on and recreated Jeep.
But what I'm saying, there was only like 3 or 4
Yeah, you didn't
major
see
deals going on at the time.
You know, I remember when Vernon Shoemaker opened up Toyota of Irving on Britton Road and Irving Boulevard.
When was that?
Oh, in the 70s. And Dad bet a guy named Dick Metzler that he could outsell everybody there in cars. And my dad was getting ready to retire with J.C. Penney's, and he went in there, and I remember he brought the first Toyota home, and we were like, I couldn't believe it.
Huh.
And we're going, Dad's selling Toyotas. And my brother Vinny wound up buying a Celica GT, one of the coolest cars I've ever seen. And then I remember he brought home a green with tan interior Toyota Cressida for Mom. And man, we got in that thing. We're like, you know, we got all these kids. I mean, there's 7 kids, but by that time, Larry, Lily, and Vinny were already driving. So it
Right.
was just me, Bobby, Tommy, and Carol Ann. And we're going, holy cow. I remember my dad sold over 30 Toyotas one month. And get this, the big thing with Dad was if you bought a car, I'll bring you a turkey.
Oh, wow.
And people thought that was just the coolest thing. So they bought a car, and Dad got him a big, I don't even know if they had Butterball back then, but he sold over 30, and he took out an ad in the Irving Daily News. And
Wow.
incredible.
Pretty sweet.
Yeah, he did really, really well. And so you had Toyota, and a lot of people were standoffish on Toyota and Honda. Mr. Eagle's father, Big Bird, Bob Eagle, got the Honda franchise on 5311 Lemon Avenue for $1,900.
Wow.
So him and get this Jerry Freeman of the Freeman Empire go to Odessa and put this guy together about helping finance a vehicle. They didn't have no money, no nothing. And he put up the money, and they opened up the Honda store. And then they have Bob Eagle Used Cars, which became Bob Eagle Pontiac, Buick, GMC, Lincoln, and then the Sewell family took over the Pontiac Buick GMC. But you go back, and a lot of people were very standoffish. I mean, when Honda hit and Toyota hit, it wasn't like people were doing cartwheels going, wow, we've got imports. You got to realize back then, people were red, white, and blue.
Well, yeah, I was going to say
that
it was Japanese, and it wasn't that long ago that we were in war with them.
Pearl Harbor.
Yeah, and all that. So that was part of the reason why, I guess, I don't know how really when it actually started really kicking in, but I know people, I'm not buying a Japanese car.
Yeah.
They wouldn't even go test drive one because of the history of what we had with that country.
Yep.
And the war. And I remember that myself, growing up. But yeah, I ended up driving a Volkswagen, which was a German car, which was just as bad.
Well, when I get out of the nightclub business, I sold Ford trucks. I didn't want to sell the cars because a buddy of mine goes, "You want to make money? Sell Ford trucks. Don't sell anything else. Live, eat, and breathe Ford trucks," which I did. I was a big a product knowledge guy. I had to know everything about it, and I could tell you, I went from the inline 6300 to the 302 V8 to the 351, which became the Windsor. To the 460, to the 7.3 liter diesel. I can still tell you everything about it. And I sold a lot of pickup trucks because back then you didn't have the import trucks. You're either buying a Ford or you're buying a Chevrolet,
right,
or a Dodge. That was actually, it was Dodge. It wasn't even Ram then.
And you didn't have to have stickers on them, did you?
Well, we had window sticker, but no price.
Oh,
because back then
that just told you what you had on it, but not a price.
Well, it wasn't listed. The government didn't list it as a passenger vehicle.
I got you.
And so GM jumped on it first, then forced the hand on the others.
I got you.
214-787-1190 is the number. That's 214-787-1190. Quick break. Don't go away. We'll be right back.
And we got a bunch of people tuned in. Good morning, Ty Jetman, as Kurt said a while ago. You did pick the right weather last week, but you know what? You deserve that because the year before,
yeah,
you had to change all that, which I know had to be a real kick in the groin. But
hey, Ty, do me a favor. I got some questions for you on people buying older cars. Give us a call. I want to Q&A you just a little bit if you have time. 214-787-1190. That's 214-787-1190.
I'll give him the number.
Give us a holler. I'd like to get you on the show and talk to you about because I got some questions coming in that are in your wheelhouse, not my wheelhouse. Do you want the fan on, or are you comfortable?
I could use a fan if it's not I don't think it's too cold. Oh, it's too cold. Oh, you hadn't turned it on yet. Thanks, everybody, for tuning in here on the Automotive Edge radio show. What am I doing here?
Jim Wagner, good morning, gentlemen. Cheers to a great day. Yes, sir. We got a lot of rain today and tomorrow.
Good, we need it.
It's going to clear up before, hopefully, for the Easter egg hunt. I wonder what people did with the price of eggs. I guess everybody went plastic this year. Couldn't afford to put them hard-boiled eggs out. I remember when Mom had all 7 of us at the table. We had that little tiny little metal holder that you could put the egg and then dip it in the dye and then pull it out.
Oh, we all went through all that growing up. And then painting them or dyeing them, I guess.
Yeah, we dyed ours. And then later
Then we'd eat 'em.
stickers. Oh, yeah.
Plug this sucker
Did you put salt on your boiled egg?
up. Yeah,
Me too.
and pepper.
Well, I didn't ever do pepper. I'd salt that puppy up. What are you doing, Bo?
I'm trying to charge my phone over here.
Well,
I'm trying to do a little work.
you need some more. You need some more of them.
Yeah, would you go to the store and get us some?
No, I got another bag.
Oh,
God, Maddie didn't even say good morning to me or nothing.
she did to me.
I did say good morning.
No, you did to Bo. What is it with everybody and Bo? Why is he so special?
Because I'm nice to him.
I'm nice to Maddie.
I don't think so.
Golly. Okay. Hello, Mr. Chase. No, that's just not right.
Is that what she said? I didn't hear
Yeah, she did. She said it very sarcastically.
What did I say versus what did you hear?
it. Yeah, there you go. That's probably more like it.
She's trying to use that college psychology
Yeah,
on me.
well,
It's not going to work.
I don't think it's psychology. I think it's just truth. There's a big difference. I always loved Charlie when he would go to his shrink when he was having problems on 2.5 million. She'd go like, Charlie, it's $180 an hour. You can say what you want.
You're not going to play those psychological mind games. I don't really care for her a whole lot in anything, but when as a psychiatrist on the show, she was the
It's
best.
fantastic. Awesome job.
Just when you said we tried, touch it.
Welcome to Star Search here on the Automotive Edge Radio Show.
214-787-1190 is the number. It's the Automotive Edge Radio Show, helping you with all your automotive needs. This segment of the show goes to the great folks over at El Dorado Chevrolet, 380 and 75. I was just there the other day with Jason Lawing going through inventory because a lot of people, they're in that panic mode. They're in that panic mode, kind of like Black Friday. They got to make sure they get exactly what they want, the best deal, because of the tariff fears. And let me tell you, you're going to get those deals regardless. At El Dorado Chevrolet, 380 and 75, 9-time Chevy Dealer of the Year, over $13,500 off Chevy Silverado crew cabs. That's over $13,500 off a 2025 Chevy Silverado crew cab. And I got to tell you, the Tahoes, it's amazing how many people are buying Tahoes. I mean, it is one hot commodity. I went there a while back. They probably had 30 plus Tahoes. They had 10, a whole bunch coming. You know, the Tahoes are built in Arlington, so that factory is pumping out the Tahoes and the Suburbans. And a guy asked me, boy, how much more is a Suburban? You know, a Suburban's only about $1,300 more than a Tahoe. And you get the additional space on the back end. It's not between the seats. A lot of people say, oh, so I get all that space between the seats. No, on a Suburban, it's the space on the back end. But they've got a whole lot more, $5,000 off all remaining 2025 Chevy Malibus. And it just keeps getting the place. 9-time Chevy Dealer of the Year. El Dorado Chevrolet in McKinney, Jason Lawing, Rusty McDonald, Jazz Gill, Mark Welch, the whole crew. They're going to take care of your Chevy needs, whether you're going to kick tires, shop, find out what the numbers are, and think about it later, or take one home today. El Dorado Chevrolet. Go online all the time at ElDoradoChevy.com. That's ElDoradoChevy.com. And prayers to Jason's wife. Hopefully she'll get the full release and get back to work. And she's got some issues with the tissues, but she is getting better by the day. And it was good to see. And I was there with Jason Long. You know what he learned how to do now?
Let's
believe
see. Probably build a car.
Well, you know, he does leather work. He does custom paint work. He does tattoos now. He can roll his own cigars. He can make his own beer.
Right.
He was going to buy a pen, and it's this German ink pen, the old style ink pen where you have to press it and the ink comes out.
Right.
These things are like $120. He said, well, I found one, and they wanted an extra $50, and it's called a fire pen. He goes, man, I thought about it, and I learned how to burn the outside of it and make it look exactly what they were saying. Save myself $50. Now he's burning pins.
Oh, there you go.
Not only is
Jason
he
right there.
the man, the myth, the legend over at Eldorado Chevrolet, I don't think there's anything he can't build out. I told him he's going to take an erector set and build a building behind his
Or
house.
Minecraft and build a garage.
God, EldoradoChevy.com. Good morning, Josh. Can't wait. Yeah, I saw some pictures of your new house. I hope you're going to do a housewarming and I get an invite and come check that beautiful place out that you and your lovely girlfriend Steph are building. You know, it's amazing. When I go around, I see Josh and Will and me. We all got these beautiful wives. You don't think we're closers? We are closers.
I agree.
214-787-1190 is the number. That's 214-787-1190. Here's the thing, ladies and gentlemen. As time goes on, used prices are going up. And we're going to be covering here at the top of the hour all of the cars that are going to be affected. And it started just 2 days ago. I've got people that are calling me going, hey, I was on the internet and I looked at the price of this car and I went on it today and it went up $3,000. In fact, one of them went up $4,000. And he goes,
And why is that?
that's not right. I'm like, well, we're going to be talking about that at the top of the hour, why it is. Why are certain makes and model used car prices really?
Are they using
going
this tariff thing to make it look like it's going up? Sort of like,
Well, you know, some are.
like when we have gas kind of issues, you know what I mean?
Well, yeah.
That, oh man, they're showing gas is this and that, so the tanks go up, and
Well, sure.
you know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
And they get in trouble for doing that too. But I
Price
guess,
gouging.
yeah, I think has a little bit to do with that. Get people to same thing that they do when they scare people and they run out and buy a bunch of toilet paper.
Oh, yeah. And then you go into Costco or Sam, they say limit one package.
Yeah, but I got to go 3 times a day. I want to need a little extra package.
You know, I think about that. I remember a buddy of mine sent me the video where this lady rolls out to her box truck. And I don't know how much toilet paper she's got.
Oh boy.
And the lady goes back and there's none. And she comes out and she said, you're not taking all that toilet paper. She said, I already paid for it. And she goes, I know how much it is. And I forgot what it was, a bundle. And she puts the money on the deal. She goes, that's for 2 bundles, and takes it. And man, all HELL goes out.
I bet.
And then Costco went, well, hang on a minute here. Maybe we ought to just limit one.
Mm-hmm.
But you know what? It's the Chicken Little syndrome. You know, one person cries, the sky's falling.
But people make good money on that because you're overreacting to something like you say, the sky's falling.
Yeah. And so you look at cars right now. But here's the thing. We're going to be covering the makes and models that you're going to see a price increase. There is no doubt about it on the pre-owned side. On the new car side.
Well, it's also graduation coming up too.
A little bit. Yeah. Graduation's coming up. And so this trend has never changed. In my 37 years in the auto industry, it's never changed. You've got, you know, a lot of people, they wait till the last day, the last minute of the hour to buy their car, December 31st, thinking that's the deal. Well, those days are over. They're gone. It's not, you know, December 31st is the Black Friday of the auto industry. It's just not. I mean, there are some manufacturers that are, will struggle and they'll just blow out their inventory. But everybody thinks that, you know, the dealers they're gonna pay taxes. They don't empty their inventory December 31st. They're gonna pay taxes. That's just not. They pay interest. They got to get rid of the cars. So when it hits either 30 or 45 days, based on how their floor plan is set up.
But that goes on all year.
Yeah.
It's not just the end of the year.
365.
Yeah, right.
But you know what? It's a mindset where people hear that and go, up, better run to the dealership and buy a car. And then you have January, which is kind of a slow month because people are paying off the holidays. February is the shortest selling month of the year.
Let me ask you this question. If people are, some of the people doing that, do you think they might be doing that in relation to as a company to where they can write off the purchase and their taxes?
Oh, sure.
So not so much about worrying about the dealer, but for them.
Yeah.
I could see where that
Well,
would be.
you look at your P&L and go, oh, wait a minute here. We have this excess money and we need to do something with it. Let's buy a company vehicle and then write it off.
Right. And even though it may not be technically a company vehicle, they would write it off as a company vehicle.
I don't know. It's just,
You don't know.
Well, you got to title it in the company.
Well, I understand that,
But
but
however you use it really doesn't matter.
I mean, it doesn't have to be like a particular work truck or whatever. It
well,
could be,
some of them have bigger write-offs than others. When you get into certain size trucks,
right,
you can get the bigger write-offs,
of course,
because they're commercial vehicles. I mean, there's not a lot of people going to be taking a day down the box truck.
So if you went out there on the last day of the year and bought what you always want, that 350 pickup for the Automotive Edge, and write it off on the Automotive Edge, right?
Yeah.
That's what you need out there on the street.
Yeah, but you think about it, all I do is drive for business.
Well,
very rarely am I just out. I mean, I hit a dozen dealerships a week.
Yeah, I know you do.
But anyway, you've got the shortest selling month in February, and then March, everybody starts getting ready for the tax man. And so this cycle has never changed. Never. Even when the Fauci virus was here, none of that changed. It was still, you had coming off the holidays, shortest month of the year, getting ready for the tax man. You know, everything got pushed out with COVID because of the taxes with COVID. It got pushed out to where you didn't have to file so quickly. And then everything breaks loose. You have March Madness kicks in. All the advertising starts going on, mainly food and products, not so much cars. And then the buying season kicks off in April. April has been a phenomenal month in the auto industry. And actually this year, January, February, and March, there's some dealers that set records. Eldorado had a record each month. They were killing it every month. Kia, Hyundai, you go down the list. Some of them are having just magnificent years already out of the chute. And then we're going to break down why some manufacturers are doing so much better than others. And it has nothing to do with quality. Here on the Automotive Edge Radio Show on 1190 KFXR, part of the iHeartMedia Network. Don't go away. Myself, Bo, and Lieutenant Maddie. We'll be right back.
Yo, noisy neighbor. Hi, Bo, also. Thank you, Mayor. How come you're so noisy, Kurt? The mayor, you might want to turn your sprinkler system off. It is raining. Yeah. Good morning, everybody.
You got married.
Here on the Automotive Edge Radio Show, let everybody know if some of your friends or neighbors like and share the broadcast. Best way to do it to share this particular broadcast is if you're tuned in, there's a little white arrow at the top of your page, left corner. Click out of it, and then you'll still see us. And then underneath that, it says like. You can like it and then share it. Hit that share button. It has it in a blue. Ask you to share it again. You share it. Goes to your timeline. So it helps people know that you're tuned in. And it's in kind of a way for to help share and let everybody know that we're what we're doing. And if they don't want to listen or tune in, they won't. But at least gives them the opportunity, and maybe you could help somebody, save them time, money, and everything when it comes to their automotive needs, and they might end up patting you on the back.
Yep. Good morning to my sweet cousin, Dorothy. Love you. Hope everything is going well at home. I talked to Eddie the other day, and he said he's doing really, really, really good and getting back in the saddle, which is great news. So, anywho, always good to have her join us. You know Jim Wagner?
Well, he's friends on Facebook, but I don't think I've ever met him.
You don't know the Jim Wagner?
Well, I guess I should know him.
Wow.
While you're talking about it.
Wow, we're privileged to have Jim on with us today.
Well, hi, Jim.
And how come your name keeps showing up on the screen?
Ooh.
Look at this. Bo. What is that?
Because
What, do you want to be Watcher of the Day, some award, or?
Yeah, I'm trying to get I'm trying to gain ahead of everybody.
They're looking down going, why is Bo's name all, here it is again.
I don't know why it's doing that.
Who's Felix? Oh, that is the guy that won't turn his sprinklers off when it's raining. I'm calling the HOA on him.
He says a rebel for sale. Yes or no?
Oh, everything's for sale.
What do you mean?
Huh?
He said rebel for sale.
Yep.
What does that mean?
My truck.
Oh. Yeah, this is not going to last another couple of weeks.
I had a guy the other day ask me about it. He goes, I've never seen that blue. I said, you won't. I said, there are very few built in the Rebel in this color. He goes, is it for sale? I said, buddy, it's a bucket of bolts. It's always for sale.
That's funny.
That's right.
Yeah, the over and under was 8 months, but
Yep.
that ain't going to happen.
We're already into 30 days.
30 days and up for sale already. Oh, well, the way it rolls.
Yeah. Well, I only got, I think, 1,400 miles on it. Starting to get old.
Starting to depreciate.
That's right. You know what I like about that truck the most? You're not going to believe this.
What's that?
The raised white letter tires.
Those look good. They
I
do.
love those.
Yeah, they do.
And I bought me a brush, where I can clean it and make sure the letters are always nice and white. I
10
like it.
seconds.
Well, back in the day, that was a big thing with sports cars, even is having the raised white letters.
Boy, if you had Firestone tires, raised white letters, man, you were cooking with
And
peanut
Krager
oil.
wheels.
Oh, yeah.
You were the bomb right there, weren't you?
All right, everybody now, get your groove on, little BGs. Bringing in the Saturday show. That's right. No, don't go down yet. There we go. You got to hear that. I can feel it. 214-787-1190 is the number. I'm your host, Kurt Chase, and the great one, Big Wheel Bo Carver. And you got to, I tell you what, if you have a chance, go to TikTok and check out our clip on TikTok. That thing is just hilarious.
The Automotive Edge.
Yep.
You can search it.
Bo killed it. That is outstanding. I've never laughed so hard just looking at something. So anyway, we'll be posting a lot of stuff on TikTok and YouTube and really getting out there and letting people know that they have an advocate in the auto industry to help them with their automotive needs. And a lot of people, moms and dads, the calls are already pouring in. Hey, Kurt, I need some help. Got to take care of the kiddo. They need a vehicle. And you remember on Hee Haw when there's no, it wasn't Hee Haw. I guess it was it Gomer Pyle? Surprise.
No, that was Andy Griffith's show.
Was Andy Griffith?
Surprise.
Who said that?
Citizens arrest. Gomer Pyle said that.
That's what I just said.
What do you mean?
Golly. What is in that cup?
Well, why would you ask me who said that
Well, you
when
said
you just
no.
said that it was Gomer
It was-
Pyle? But you were talking about Hee Haw. And that's why I said no, because it wasn't Hee Haw. It wasn't. I agreed with Gomer Pyle, but you said it was.
I think it was Hee Haw.
No, it was on the Andy Griffith show. Junior Sample was on Hee Haw. BR549.
I know.
Well, I think
But you talking about Mayberry RFD?
no, it's called the Andy Griffith show. Not maybe RFD. That was after Gomer, and after really a lot of it went away.
Anyway.
I know I'm right about that. I can guarantee you. I'll bet everything I own on that.
Okay. Oh, I know. If there's anybody knows anything about Mayberry RFD,
Andy Griffith show.
we could blindfold Bo and shove him out the door, and he would get to Mayberry RFD with a blindfold on.
It's the Andy Griffith show.
That's right. Hey, this segment of the show is brought to you by Driver's Edge Auto Repair. Summer's coming up. Get those tires looked at. There's nobody more competitive with tires now than Driver's Edge Auto Repair. There's not. You go to some of these places, buy two, get two free, buy three, get one free, depending on the brand. All these tire discounts, great coupons for oil changes and everything else coming down the pipeline. If you go to mydriversedge.com, over 23 locations, look at their coupons. They're not upsell coupons going, well, if we give you this coupon, you got to buy this. We're going to try to sell them that. That's just not how they operate. They've been a great sponsor here for 21 years. Go to mydriversedge.com. And here's the thing. I got a real nice email the other day, and the guy said he went to Driver's Edge. Transmission went out. Big repair. He didn't have the coin. They set him up. They got him financed. He paid it off in 90 days and said he couldn't be happier.
How about that?
Yeah, so they got you covered from tires to financing to oil changes to repairs, diesels, gas, whatever the case may be. And 2-year, 24,000-mile warranty on all engine repairs. Get your vehicle road ready for the summer. Tires for Kurt are the most important part of your car, by far. And the thing, too, there's nothing worse than having a flat spare. Always get your spare checked out. People just assume the air stays in the spare. That's not true. You open it up, looks brand new. There may not be air in it. Remember, air will come out of that tire. So get it all checked out from headlight to taillight. The place, mydriversedge.com. That's mydriversedge.com. Okay. Also coming up, we're going to have some fun here. Who buys what? And we're going to be doing a little trivia with Bo. We're going to see how many out of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Okay, I got 15 makes and models. Who buys them? We're going to see how educated Bo is, how well he's been listening.
Educated.
That's right. So moms and dads, used car prices are okay right now. Remember, after April, May, graduation kicks in. And as people start their buying now for the graduators, prices are going to go up. Supply and demand. Get started now. I have 4 people already that we put in a one-pay lease, meaning they went and they said, well, I don't like leasing. I was time out. We went through, I said, here's 3 questions I got for you. If you say no to any of them, don't lease. Do you have a responsible kid? Yep. Do they drive under 12,000 miles a year? Yes. Are they going to take care of the automobile? Yes. That's a lease candidate if you want to save a bunch of money right now. And so we've got one in. A brand new vehicle, $226 a month, and they paid the whole lease up front. So they gave them a special rate on, it's called a money factor, as we know is interest on a lease, and they prepaid it. And so they're going to college, and now they don't worry about anything. They're driving a brand new automobile under warranty. They did buy the maintenance package, so all they have to do, there's a dealer there that will take care of the oil changes for them while they're at college and the tire rotations and make sure the car is okay. And they're good. Mom and dad have no payments, no worries, no mechanical issues.
So the maintenance package, even though they bought it at one dealership, would be honored at another one? Is that a maintenance package from the manufacturer?
No, they bought a maintenance package from the dealer where they're going to college.
Oh, okay. I got you.
So they bought it. They did a one pay on the lease, got the car, then they headed down to college and went to the dealership and said, hey, do you offer a maintenance package? We do.
Okay.
Well, and so they bought it, and then for 3 years, they don't have to pay for anything other than
wear and tear
windshield wiper
items.
Blades, maybe tires. Yeah, whatever the case
Brakes,
may be.
maybe.
Yeah. But
wearable items.
yeah, with mine, when I sold my truck, it had right at 28,000 miles on it, and it still had the factory tires. But I rotate my tires every oil change, blah, blah, blah. Anyway, moms and dads, you have a lot of options right now. But as this time goes on, and you got, a couple of million kids going to graduate, the used car market, which is they're in demand for used cars, is going to start to shrink. And then the prices are going to go up, especially on the cost-efficient cars. Your Nissan Versa, the Sentra, the Nissan Kicks, the Chevy Trax, the Honda Civics, the Toyota Corollas, the Crosstrek. There's so many cars out there in moms and dads' mind that are good quality cars, the Mazda 3, that you're going to be going after. And all of a sudden you're going to look up and go, wait a minute here. Last month, I was looking at this car for 18. Now it's 21. I was looking at this car. It was 19. Now it's 23. And that's just the market delegates, supply and demand. And so I've told everybody for a long time now, the 2.3, depending on who you listen to, 2.3 to 2.8 million lease cars that were supposed to be coming off lease now back into the marketplace are gone because of the virus and not building cars.
And plus, people kept them.
And there was no lease cars. Cars weren't being leased because there was no good lease programs at the time. And to Bo's point, people were refinancing their residuals because they had equity, a lot of equity for some people. And so those cars are gone 2 point whatever million. So what does that do? That changes the matrix on quality pre-owned automobiles. So with that being said, start your process now. In fact, a buddy of mine, Brent, called me yesterday and he goes, "Hey, Kurt, I got a problem." "Oh, what's the problem, Brent?" "Buddy, I was on the website and yesterday this vehicle was $42,000. Today it's $45,000. "Yeah." He goes, "They shouldn't do that." Well, maybe you should have bought it yesterday.
Have they even realized what's happened with the housing market over the last couple of years or so, when it was like doubled in price almost? Yeah. That's the way things roll. It's supply and demand, and when the demand gets high and the supply gets low, it's just a natural instinct of what happens.
Well, look how many people are owe more on their house than it's worth. Never in the history of the United States were people like, well, the house listed for, I'll never forget it. I'm looking at a house that listed for $550. Walk in the house, and I said, "Okay, we'll take it." "No, we're taking bids." I just walked out. I said, "I'm out. Don't even call me."
Right.
That house sold for $645,000. I'm going, you have got to be kidding me.
150,000 more than probably was worth, you're saying?
Oh, yeah. I mean, they marked it up and then started taking bids.
So even more than that.
And so our house, our last house that we sold, people started bidding on. I'm like, "Are y'all nuts?" "Here's my asking price." And the family from Pittsburgh said, "We'll give you this if you'll take it off the market." And I went, "You've got to be kidding me. I'll take your dumb money."
It's off the market.
Yeah. So it's happening now with used cars. Start making that move now. If you're going to do it, even if it's for you, not a kid or graduate or whatever the case may be, start your process now, because they're not going down anytime soon, because the fear factor is being poured over the American people. 214-787-1190 is the number. That's 214-787-1190. Quick break. Don't go away. We'll be right back.
I guess Ty didn't hear you about calling. I wonder if he tried to call. You mean text him?
Yeah. You know who's playing the guitar in this?
Prince.
Nope. Keep playing it.
Van Halen.
That's right. Eddie Van Halen.
Hey, what's going on, big guy? Look at that. There he is right there. The star of the show. There we go. What you got? Hey, my son had that, one of those elephant. Neither did I. Well, there you go.
Yep.
Y'all leaving us?
Oh. Yeah, his socks, the dogs had the socks, so you may have to find them. And then don't forget Lily's shoes.
Maddie, can you hear me?
Yes, I can.
We should be getting a call from Ty. So I'll be watching.
Okay, I'm getting it right now.
Okay.
Gosh, I love this rain. You know what? All my neighbors are like, I can't imagine what your water bill is going to be this month from watering all this new sod.
He's on hold.
Thank you.
So I am happy for this rain.
Of course.
And then the end of the week is supposed to pick up again. I think Thursday's a heavy rain.
Well, as long as it doesn't bring any big bad storms like, tornadoes or whatever, but the rains are more than welcome.
Can you imagine living in Oklahoma and every time a storm comes, you got to make sure the shelter's ready? And I've got a buddy that's been in Oklahoma, get this, for 10 years. 10 years building tornado shelters.
Was good. It's good money, and for a while there, it was great money because everybody went through a real fear factor with all that.
He's either putting the one that they bolt into the ground and you get in the safe room, or the one in the ground.
Underground.
He said you wouldn't believe these ones that we're building that have the generators and the lighting and the food, and they have beds in them. And I said, why? He goes, well, if their house is gone,
I got to live in it.
They got to have a place to live. And he goes, you wouldn't believe some of the. Actually, he's calling them bunkers that they're building, storm shelters.
Right.
He said we used to call them, getting the shelter, and then it became a storm shelter. And he goes, now it's a bunker.
An underground house.
Yeah, he said it's got generators and lighting and food, and I'm like, wow.
But you never know. House of fire.
We ain't love desire to the world you belong. Boy, if that doesn't move your soul, nothing does.
No, that's grooving right there, baby.
Yeah, that's what, growing up, you played Spin the Bottle too. That's right. Everybody remember that? 2 minutes in heaven and Spin the Bottle. Buddy of mine said, what's 2 minutes in heaven? I said, well, it's where you got to kiss a girl for 2 minutes and not get in trouble. 214-787-1190. This segment of the show goes to Freeman Toyota, located on the affordable side of the Metroplex, right there at 820 and 183. I'm going to say it again. Go to the website, freemantoyota.com. That's freemantoyota.com. Get more, pay nothing. That's Dane Miner for you, General Manager, Freeman Toyota. I've known Dane for over 40 years. And look at what you get when you buy a new car and certain pre-owned cars. All the addition that you get, no upselling, no gotcha, no you didn't read the fine print, just the way to buy your next new Toyota. You can't go wrong ever at Freeman Toyota, right there, 183 and 820, just about a block south of the Northeast Mall. The new Highway 10 is finished. You can exit and loop around and enjoy the experience. When it comes to Toyota, it doesn't get any better than Freeman Toyota. Go to freemantoyota.com. That's freemantoyota.com. Joining us on the Automotive Edge hotline, my buddy Todd Gentman. Good morning. How are you, brother?
I'm doing all right. How are you?
We're doing good. We're doing good. Hey, I got a few questions for your wheelhouse because I don't get into buying all the cars that you do, the older cars, the classic cars. You're around those guys, 24/7, 365. And there's a lot of people that are doing okay financially that are contacting me going, hey, if I was to buy an old Datsun or buy an old this or buy an old that, are the tariffs going to hurt getting parts for some of the old imports? Or are those parts already here and we have no worries? Your thoughts?
Yeah, most of my thoughts is most of that stuff is produced here. And so I think the tariffs are not going to impact that very much. I mean, there may be some if you're doing like an import car, you may find some of that, but majority of the parts for most of those cars, especially the old U.S. cars, are made here. So they're either made in California, Texas has started some stuff, but most of the stuff's made here in the States.
And how big a market is that now with parts for older cars? There's a lot of people that call me. Is there a certain line? If you were to pick 3 lines of vehicles and go, these are the cars. If you want a fun car, if you want to make sure you have parts for it, what 3 vehicles or what 3 lines, not so much the vehicles, would you put on your radar to know that you're going to get the parts if you wanted to go back in time and say, man, I'd like to have that old Firebird or this or what Mustang, whatever the case may be. What lines would you look at knowing that you're pretty much going to have parts ready available?
Yeah, that's a great question. I would say most of your GM stuff is probably your easiest to get stuff for. The Ford products are really coming up, and that's getting better, and Mopar's getting there, but it's not as readily available. I'd say GM for the most part, because if you look at the classic market, what you see out there is usually Corvettes, Camaros, Mustangs. Those are the real popular ones because they built a lot of them. The Mopar ones are usually worth more because they're a little bit more rare. But I'll give you an example. If you have a data plate for a 67 or 68, 69 Camaro, you can get every single part is made for that car. Everything. Same with the Ford Mustang. Same with the C10 truck. You pretty much can build it from scratch if you got a data plate.
Wow.
What's a data plate?
It's the VIN plate.
Oh, okay, I got you.
Yeah, I'm talking aviation terms when I say data plate. Sorry about that.
Yeah. I've never heard that term before, but now I know what it is.
You know what? Let's talk real brief about Connor's Car Show. What a phenomenal day. Beautiful weather. You know what? There's nothing but smiles out there. I tell you what, if you want a great day of fellowship and everything, you got to go to Connor's Car Show. And looks like you had just an incredible showing again this year.
Yeah, we were fortunate, right? We were right in between the 2 weather patterns, so we didn't have weather to worry about. So basically 82 degrees and sunny and a little bit of breeze. So it was about as perfect as you can get. We had about 650 cars, about 100 vendors, and we estimate about 35,000 spectators. So,
wow.
And you're right. Everybody I talked to just seemed to be having a great time.
You know what blew me away the most out of the whole show, Ty, is I saw that young lady that I thought was Connor's sister holding her child. I went,
yeah.
How did that?
Elizabeth, right?
How did that just
1 minute.
happen?
Yeah, that's Elizabeth, and that's little Dakota.
How about that?
Yep. Hey, Ty, can you hang with us or you got to go?
No, I can hang with you.
All right, hang with us. It's top of the hour. We got to get to break and take care of sponsors. 214-787-1190. Don't go away. Joining us, the great Ty Gentman. We'll be right back.
Well, there you go. Want to ask him who won the #1 prize. You probably know, but what vehicle it was. They had motorcycles too, didn't they?
Oh, a bunch. That one guy, someone told me he owned the whole collection. I don't know how many he had out there.
Really? 20, 30?
Oh, at least. All of them just no pick. Immaculate motorcycles.
Classics?
Oh, everything. He had a Honda 70. Took me way back. Had that kind of off greenish color, and
right.
I had one. Oh,
like brand new, huh?
Oh, everything he had was just spotless.
Well, how about that? She's still playing music. We must have got off early.
Who?
I think we still had about almost 45 seconds left. It's what happens when we lose time.
Well, when Maddie started yelling at me, you
she only gave us 1 minute. So we jumped off the air quick.
Major Maddie gets to holler, and it's like, you just start quivering.
I want to start taking it down to the last 5 seconds.
Where she's like,
Hail Mary.
We've got to go.
I want to start hearing more of that. Yes, sir. Make her sweat. Take her down like the 2-minute warning stuff. Last second shot.
Yeah. So Maddie has a new job going.
It's going good. I have a lot of things to do.
What do you
and
do?
A lot of places to visit.
What do you do?
She's a techo.
She's a techo.
I know I don't work in tech.
Oh, you don't?
No, I work in private equity. I am a community engagement specialist.
Ooh.
And I coordinate events for our company, and I manage like 5 brands.
She is the face of the company.
So if I needed you, what would I need you for? That's just so you can to let me know.
I work in HVAC, plumbing, and electrical.
Okay.
So
Okay.
if you need recommendations for that, I can give you some.
Like, I'm guessing air conditioning and heating.
AC, plumbing, and
Oh, both.
your lights.
Oh, okay. Electrical stuff too. Huh?
Huh.
You're all around. You're rocking.
Yeah.
Sweet.
Yeah, I'm kind of blessed because my brother was a home builder. My nephew is a plumber. Nathan is an electrician. And we have painters in the family. But I do all the painting anyway. I don't need painters.
Thank God Kurt's got all that.
Well, no, on that remodel on the bathroom, I did almost all that.
It does look great. I'd say that.
I did all the electrical in there and the painting and cutting in the trim. And
He paid a high price for it too. He's been out of the hospital about 4 times with it.
ooh. More rain. Thank you, Jesus.
Yeah, let's bring it.
Keep it coming.
I think it's going to rain all day, isn't it? Sort of.
Yeah, we're supposed to get a break in the afternoon and then pick back up. And
Let me see what my weatherman says to us here.
what does the weatherman say to Bo?
In my neck of the woods here. That's what they say.
You got the WAP.
I got it. See, it's right. Look at it. We're getting it.
Where are we? Right there where that dot is?
That's where I am.
Mm.
I think so. Look, let's see if that might be Stephenville. Yeah, that's Stephenville. And go to home. That still looks pretty good right there, doesn't it?
Yep.
Some
looks real
good
good.
rain, that little blue dot. We're
Yep.
all in the rain area right there.
You got cracks in the yard?
It's getting where I'm not, which is good. I really don't have any cracks.
So what kind of dirt you got? You got good soil out there? You got that heavy clay or?
Well, it's kind of a dark type dirt. We have a lot of rock. So it's kind of what we have to deal with.
You got to keep mud boots on the porch.
Yeah, if it rains like this, you do. So
You got to check and make sure there's no snakes in them.
yeah, I would always do that.
You put your hand in there, you just turn them upside down.
No, I can put my hand down there. This is going to be really good for the ducks pond. They're going to be very happy. Keep that thing full.
I want you to know that yesterday I'm coming home and I stopped because there was a male and female duck crossing the street, and I stopped and they just stood there looking at me. I just sat there. Melinda was behind me and my sister, and like, why is he stopping? And then all of a sudden they come by. And then yesterday I'm laying sod and they squatted down in the grass and just sat there and watched me. But I threw some bread out and they wouldn't eat it.
Well, they usually eat bread.
Yeah, I threw it out there and they walked away. I think my dogs ate it.
Probably. They will eat bread. Dogs will.
Yep.
Thanks, everybody, for tuning in today. Don't forget to like and share the broadcast. And the way to do that, if you're on a social media site, is like Facebook, just that little top white area at the left corner. Get out of that. You'll still see us. Hit the like button and then hit the share button. And it'll want you to share it again. Just share it.
John Wright said, "Good morning, gentlemen. Glad I'm here as well as both of you.
Yes. Good morning, John.
It's good to be upright and breathing."
Good to see you, brother. Good all-American gentleman right there.
You know All-American Gentlemen?
I know a couple.
Oh.
Nowadays, it's pretty easy to spot them. Pretty divided to the ones that aren't. Used to, back in the day, you didn't really know, but today it's pretty simple to figure it out. Doesn't take long. Go wear a MAGA hat somewhere and see what happens.
You know what? I saw that an airline recently told a guy to take the hat off or get off the plane
30 seconds.
because he was upsetting the passengers.
Well, I saw one where the passenger was upset, but they asked the passenger that was upset to get off.
Yeah, they said there's more people upset than an individual, and he's suing the crap out of that.
Why wouldn't he?
That airline.
He should.
Yeah, 100%. And now they got dress codes on the plane and what you can and can't wear. And I'm like,
that's why I don't fly. I don't care about flying. And I will never get in a helicopter.
No.
I don't know.
I've flown in with Mr. McDavid in his helicopter. And
were you a little bit on the shaky side?
Burleson Nissan.
All right. John says I wear one everywhere I want. I don't blame you. Good job. Yeah, there we go.
All night long, the Automotive Ed Radio Show, helping you with all your automotive needs, whether you're buying, selling, trading, leasing, parts, service, or body shop. We are here to help. 214-787-1190 is the number. If you want to know where to go, who to see, what to do, we have you covered. There's nobody in the industry, if it's got wheels on it, we can't connect you with it, period. Now, that doesn't mean your refrigerator has got wheels on it. We're talking about it's got a motor too.
You could probably help them with that.
I'll find somebody. Go to theautomotiveedge.com, click on Ask Kurt, or there's actually a little message icon right there on the front page of the new website, theautomotiveedge.com, and send me a message, and we'll call you right after the show and help you out. This segment is brought to you by a dealer that will definitely help you out, and that is Burleson Nissan, 35 in Renfro Road. Go see our buddy Justin Crane, and here you got the Nissan Versa, the Nissan Kicks, the Nissan Sentra, all under $25,000. Brand spanking new. If you haven't seen the new Nissan Kicks, they killed it. They knocked it out of the park. And Nissan's got all these new products coming out. You got the Frontier. You've got the new Armada, which is selling as fast as they're getting it there. You have the Altima. You have, we just go on and on and on of great products from a great dealer. It really got to come down to who. When you have a product and you go, I really like it, then it's got to be who's going to help you make the second largest purchase in your life. And that's Burleson Nissan. See Justin Crane. Let him know you're listening to the Automotive Edge Radio Show. Get a couple of free years of free maintenance just by saying Bo or Kurt, and enjoy the Nissan experience at burlesonnissan.com. On the Automotive Edge hotline with us this morning, Ty Gentman. Hey, Ty, one of the questions that came in is there's a lot of shops now that are not working on the older cars. I can't believe I got 11 messages over the last 30 days that people are wanting to get into older cars. They want to start having fun and enjoying, but they're not mechanically inclined. What do you say to those folks?
I'll say there's lots of places out there that specialize in these older cars. So basically reach out to you. We'll get you in contact. I know several that would be more than willing to take that work. Interesting enough, most of those shops are really busy right now, but I know some really good shops with some really good folks that are honest, get the work done fast, and treat you fair.
Now, there's a lot of money that's starting to appear now that we have the right person as president of the United States. And they're going, hey, I want to go back in time. And you have 3 categories that I want you to share with the listeners when it comes to buying those cars. Because you've seen it and I've seen it where people buy these cars, they strip them down, and now they're way over their head. And then they open up their garage and they're selling a kit to somebody that knows how to put it back together. But you have kind of 3 categories. Why don't you share them with the listeners?
Yeah, it's we get asked this question a lot, so I try to help out as much as we can. But essentially, you got to understand, what are you going to use the car for, right? That's the first thing is Are you going to daily drive this? Or are you going to weekend drive this? Or are you looking for a pristine show car? Because there's different levels of build for each one of those. If you just want a nice daily driver, then there's a pathway to get there where you don't have to do the whole undercarriage and everything else. And then there's kind of the middle of the road, which you want a weekend driver, do some shows where it's not necessarily perfect, but just really nice. And then there's the trailer vehicles or the super high end ones, right? Which you better be ready to spend because it's going to cost to get you there. So unfortunately, a lot of people tend to go right towards the show vehicle and don't understand what they're getting into. And next thing you know, they've spent, $100,000, $200,000 and they're not done. And so there's a big price tag if you want that higher end vehicle. So you just got to understand what's the purpose and where you're going with the vehicle, and then build the car accordingly.
Yeah, I've got a buddy. He's about 125 into his GNX, and he's like, I don't want to do this anymore. And he goes, boy, oh boy, when I heard Ty talk about that, I realized it because the paint job they wanted to do on that was $75,000. He said, you want to make this as close to factory, here's what this paint job is going to cost. He goes, $75,000 for a paint job. He goes, buddy, I'm cutting you a deal. And he's like, no way this thing to paint it costs $75,000. And so here again, it's whatever level and what degree you want that car to get to.
Yeah, exactly. The other thing people don't understand is that the material costs have gone up, labor costs have gone up, everything's gone up. But if you want a true high-end, show-quality paint job, you're going to spend some money for that because materials alone is going to run you $5,000. The shop that's buying the materials just to do that work is $5,000, and then you're not counting the labor. So that GNX you're talking about, I mean, if I liken it to the truck, that black truck I had painted, that gentleman has about 350 hours in that paint job.
Yep.
It's not a bring it in, sand it down, spray it, tape off the mirrors and everything else.
It's not one of those $200 paint jobs they advertise.
Yeah, the old Earl Schreiber. Yeah.
Oh man, that's tough.
Yeah, the Earl Schreiber, 1995. Remember back in the day?
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Well,
that was basically a scuff coat and paint. They didn't care about much else.
Well, we saw one where the guy actually takes, it's a frame off restoration, and he has this, I'm going to call it a spindle, but where he's turning that whole car in a complete circle and walking through and painting that thing. I mean, every little speck, and he had 460 hours into this car. I was like, oh yeah, incredible.
It's easy to do.
All right, Ty.
Yeah, so like I said, just a low end paint job is going to cost you $20,000.
So, Ty, what was the number one vehicle out there this year at the Connors Car Show? Who won the big prize?
Well, that's a tough one. So Connor's Choice got picked a motorcycle because it's a motorcycle trophy this year. But
I got you.
There was an old black Cadillac there that was probably my favorite one. They're just stunning vehicle, and he won a best of show, but it was outstanding.
What year model?
It was the 1960s.
Oh, wow. Black
Cadillac. It was great big black Cadillac, and it was absolutely gorgeous. LS swap with a supercharger in it. It was amazing.
Wow.
Yeah, I saw that car. The cool part of that is when you have people that they're not interested in selling their car, but the stories about their cars for the original owners, boy, it's like a time capsule that you were just handed, and the stories are absolutely incredible. And I asked the one guy, I said, how many times did you tell that story? He goes, today, a bunch.
It was 35,000 people out there. So.
And he goes, but you know what? I don't mind. Yeah, he said, it takes me back to a great place. And every time I tell the story, it brings back an additional memory of, owning this car from the 50s and carrying it through and keeping it and working on it to make sure that it looks like this every day. When I turn the key on this car every day, I can tell you every finite detail about it, but let me just tell you about the journey I've had with this car, and it's fascinating to listen. We call them old timers, but the stories are absolutely incredible, and I always love it.
Yeah, they're
when
great.
People say, "Is a car for sale?" And the one guy goes, well, "Let me ask you a question. You seem like a pretty smart guy." He goes, "Do you see a for sale sign on it?" And I went, he couldn't have answered any better. He goes, "No." And he goes, "Well, there's your answer."
Yeah. Well, what's funny is most vehicles are not for sale, but there's a for sale price.
Yeah, there's always.
It just depends if you're willing to hit that price.
Correct.
Oh yeah, the one guy goes, "I don't think you have enough money," and the guy goes, "Well, I think I do." He goes, "I bet you don't." And the guy goes, "Well, have a good day." So just to let it go, because they're. I've looked at, in fact, I looked at an El Camino, a 71 El Camino. And then I looked at a Ranchero, and the guy opened up the book, and he literally had a picture, 10 different snapshots of his wife driving out of the showroom, and the story behind it. I knew I wasn't going to buy the car. I knew what it was worth, but I know what he wanted, and that's two different, numbers. And I told him, I said, I appreciate it. And he said, you're not even going to make an offer. I said, no, sir, I'm not.
Right after seeing those pictures, right?
Well, the story and the emotion that was coming out,
Of
he
course.
said, the first time we pulled up to the drive-in and she scooted over and I put my arm around her, I'm going, there's no way this car is coming home with
Did
her.
you try to do that, Tim? Scoot close to him, put your arm around him?
I was, and it was that off kind of bronze, and in the inside it was that weaved mauve, brown, and white material, all original. And he had the books and everything.
One of these days we're going to get you an El Camino, Kurt. One of these days, but it's kind of funny. We know Kurt well enough, right? That he gets good deals on new cars, but the old cars, there's the Kurt price, and then there's the price.
Right,
I'm not sure if we can get the Kurt price.
He's trying to deal with them like on the new car side.
But see, the difference between me and you is you have all the patience in the world, and I'm a turnkey kind of guy. And I actually looked at a El Camino 454 SS. And had the original Craig, everything. This thing was a no-pick car. And here comes the story in the book, which I love the detailed information about the cars, no doubt about it. But when the love stories come out, you just hear the register running, and it always seems to kind of knock me out of the market. But Ty, we love you, brother. We love everything that you do, bringing the community together, and we know the cause is for Down syndrome awareness. And there's a special place in this world. We need more Ty Gentmans, and I'm glad to call you friend. And we'll talk to you soon, brother.
Well, thanks, guys. We enjoy the friendship and love having you guys out there. So thanks for everything you do.
You bet. Ty Gentman, dad of Connor's Car Show. Put it on your calendar for next year if you missed it. Quick break. Don't go away. We got a whole lot more coming up here on the Automotive Edge Radio Show. We'll be right back.
And we are here today, live, and in color. Well, I don't have a lot of color on today. This is the Easter weekend. I hope everybody takes a little special time over the weekend to appreciate what that represents. We should be doing that every day, but this weekend especially. And tell everybody that you love them, because you never know, that may be the last time you tell them, and we don't want that to be, but you never know. We're here every Saturday morning. Like and share the broadcast. Tell people if they don't do social media or listen to the radio, that they can go to YouTube, because that's not a sign-in thing. They don't have to become a member like you would with Facebook and all that. They can just go to youtube.com and then search the Automotive Edge Radio Show. It's youtube.com. Then search the Automotive Edge Radio Show, and they can follow us there. It's a live video process that we're doing, audio and video. We're on every Saturday morning from 8 to noon. So it's a good thing for them to know, because you never know when they might need the help, because people don't think about it until it's time. And sometimes they think I got it all under control, but things change so often in the automotive business side, and that just because you think you might know, it's really better to get another set of ideas about it. And all you have to do is go to theautomotiveedge.com, theautomotiveedge.com, click on Ask Kurt, and then there you go. Leave your name and number and say, I've got a couple of questions. Could you give me a call? Bada bing, bada bang. Kurt will call you back and try to help you with what you're needing to do.
There we go.
And the website is rock and rolling.
Highly accurate.
Okay.
Yeah. Have you seen the website?
I'm going to look at it right now.
It looked pretty good.
Well, I saw it last week.
Yeah, I told him the situation that we're having, and
about the listening.
Yeah.
So Edge. So that's what popped up there. Announcement. Make sure you sign up for the page. And there's that. I got to do cookies. Why'd y'all do cookies?
Oh, well.
That sucks. Is there a way to get rid of that?
Yeah.
Tell them to do that. Because people don't like doing that.
Yep.
See what we got.
We'll do this next.
What is it? Okay. On the air, you mean?
Yeah.
See, it's not playing it. It's still not doing it.
Well, he said it'd be rolling today.
Well, it's not.
I will give him a call. You know what's weird is how different it looks on the laptop. When you pull it up,
All right.
it looks completely different. Because this stuff scrolls down and gives you all the stuff versus the slide bar on the very top. What is that?
Says the Automotive Edge Radio Show. Let me know if you have any questions.
Oh, I can't see that far. Vámonos! Boy, I got playing that guitar, ain't he?
The groove is phenomenal on that song, man. Yeah, it's
Lord, help me to get away.
it's
Gosh, I love that song.
a great song.
How far is heaven? 214-787-1190 is the number. That's 214-787-1190. If you just want to call in and talk about an old car you had or an experience you had, or you need to know where to go, who to see, what to do, we got the phone lines open. Don't be scared. 214-787-1190. This segment of the show is brought to you by your CBD store, Keller.com. That's your CBD store, Keller.com. I got to tell you, I fractured a couple of vertebrae last year. And what got me through without all the pain pills was the CBD cream. And I put it all around the injury and a little bit over the injury. It was not an open wound. And boy, did it help. And then Ralph Paul, the owner, said, hey, put the spray on first, get them pores open and that menthol work in, let it dry, and then put the cream on it. And I got to tell you, I think I still have the whole prescription, maybe minus a pill or two. And if it wasn't for that CBD cream, I'd probably just taken a bunch of pills, and then you got to take laxatives and this and that, all the pain pills and everything. It's just not a good process. Your CBD store in Keller.com saved me from a lot of pain, taking pills. And here again, I'm not making any medical claims. I'm giving you my own testimony. And then recently, my back started acting up because I'm redoing the whole yard. And I went and I had work done on my back the other day. And right when I got home, I did the menthol spray. And then I put the cream on it, which I did again this morning, because I had to break up these acid something. I forgot what they were called in my back. And she could feel them. And she was breaking them all up and started drinking lemon water. Here's what you're going to take. I said, no, I got it. I came right home, put on the spray, waited a few minutes, put on the cream. I'm back out in the yard working. And my hands started hurting. I came in, took a little break, had some water, put some cream on my hands, back outside and working. I'm telling you, collagen creams, bath bombs. Mother's Day is coming up. Let me just tell you, dads, those flowers are going to die. They're going to get all excited when they see them, and then they're going to die. Well, you know what? You have an opportunity here to go to your CBD store in Keller, get a nice basket, and put the bath bombs and the collagen creams, some Mind Boost, some seltzers, lotion. There's so many great things. I'm going to tell you what, your wife is going to enjoy this for a long time. And then, guys, throw you a little jar of the libido boost in there. I'm telling you, it's great product, USDA certified organic. They ship for free. So if you can hear my voice, and we have friends that are in Florida and Lubbock and Oklahoma and New York, they'll ship for free. So for Mother's Day, flowers are cool, but CBD is great. You can get it with THC, which is 0.03, or without it. People, and it's not about the high, it's about the health. And then if you got dogs, cats, You want to take care of them? I'm going to tell you, they got treats for the pets. 4th of July will be here. Before you know it, all the dogs are going to be under the bed howling and whining. There's something for everybody, but it comes down to the product and the people. The place, YourCBDStoreKeller.com. That's YourCBDStoreKeller.com. And here's the thing. Ralph keeps getting on me that nobody's saying the Automotive Edge radio show. You need to tell them how you found out about them. When you give them a call saying, hey, we're listening to the radio show, and we heard. We had Mary and Kim, who is part of our neighborly group, went in and bought product, and I sent them a message. Did you tell them how you found out about them? I'm like, we didn't know that it mattered. Well, it does. You know, we want them to know because we want to keep this relationship going with them to have you experience the real world of CBD. Not the stuff at the grocery store, not the stuff at the gas station, not the stuff at the hardware store, not the stuff at wherever that we don't know. They just put the display up and we open it up and hand them what they want. That's not what you want. You want the right, good, professional people that know what you're ingesting or putting on your body or giving to others. That's what you need. And actually, my son, we got him off his ADD medicine with CBD. Now, I'm not telling you to throw your drugs away and ignore your doctors. I'm just telling you, go to YourCBDStoreKeller.com, look at the address. They're on Main Street in Keller, and just start the dialogue. I'm telling you, it'll change your life. It changed my life, my family's life, and it works. And I stand 100% behind it. The place, YourCBDStoreKeller.com. Okay, I want to hit a couple of things. Some people were really, really upset about prices going up, and I get it. My buddy Brent, he called me yesterday and said, hey, Kurt, I got on the website, and there's a couple of cars. Your Porsche, BMW, and Audi, they're expecting these prices to really go up. In fact, the BMW that he was looking at was $42,800. He called me yesterday and said, hey, I got on there today. I live right down from the dealership. I went over and drove it, and now it's $3,000 more. And I went, yeah. The dealer goes into MMR, and they put in the VIN number, and they see these prices are going up. And so they raise their prices, knowing that with these tariffs, there's certain makes and models, and a lot of it's going to be your high-end luxury or your luxury line that could have a delay, could have a problem, could have a price increase, and they're adjusting now. And so the only plus would, how long do you wait before the prices come down? Well, we don't know. And so another buddy of mine called me and goes, hey, I was looking at the certified BMW. They went up $4,000, okay? I can't call the dealer and say, hey, bring the price down. But here's the thing. The dealer paid the same price. The price of what they own it for didn't change, but the value did. Same thing that you would do. If you bought a home for $350,000 and in a short amount of time it was worth $400,000, somebody offered you that, you're probably not going to say no. It's market adjustment. It's all it is. It's not that they're trying to be underhanded or whatever, but if you have something that's increasing in value, you're going to hit that pinnacle to go, okay, I'm ready to sell at this price. That's what's going on with certain makes and models in the auto industry. And so then I had a guy call me and goes, hey, I found this Porsche, and he went up $3,000. I'm like, what do you want me to do? He goes, why? Well, there's certain makes and models that are the tariffs coming over, they're going to pay them. Until they start adjusting and playing fair, the Europeans especially, I mean, you look what Trump unloaded on the German chancellor about all the oil stuff he's been doing with Russia, like nobody was going to find out, and the underground under ocean pipelines and underground pipelines and all this stuff. Nobody will know that the natural gas and the oil. They know all of this is going to be found out, and that's why Trump's going, hey, everybody's going to play. We're paying the biggest percent of our GDP than anybody, so you're going to play along, or we're going to tariff you until you do. And so that's why you see certain makes and models going up. Right now, the parts houses are fine. I've got some buddies in the auto industry where there's a lot of independent places trying to buy all these parts up from them, and they're going, time out. we have to take care of our customers, so we're not going to unload all of our product with you. Not going to happen. We're not going to take and you want to buy 1,000 widgets, and then our customers show we don't have widgets to service our service drive. That's not going to happen. But a lot of the really good dealers out there, they're not going crazy on the prices with this stuff. Going, well, you know, there's going to be a shortage. Let's go ahead and get them now. They're still putting fair market value out there, and these are the people that we want to connect you with, that are still making sure you, the consumers, are paying the least amount as long as they can hold on until these other countries start playing fair and waking up. Trump's not playing. And everybody's up in arms about it. And I'm like, hang on a second. The reason you're upset is because you're part of the problem. That's it. You cannot be upset with a president that is reeling in our money, creating a level playing field, and you're upset about it unless you're going behind the going out the back door and someone's handing you an envelope or whatever it is. That's the only reason you're upset. And will there be some pains along the way? 100%. And I'm not saying this is going to be pain free until.
Well, you remember the old saying, "No pain, no gain."
Yeah.
So eventually, the gain will be there,
Yep.
and the gain will be great because we go through a little bit of pain. But our society over the years does not want any pain at all. We've been raised where we want everything right away. We want it right away. We won't have to do anything to get it. We just want it right now, quick and free.
Well, Harry Truman said it best. You know, I sent you that deal on Harry Truman.
I think I still got it.
And I'm going, you know what? That's the only reason you're upset is because your payout is coming to an end, and they're going to find it all out. And the American people need to be applauding what's going on. Whether you like what comes out of his mouth, it's really about the bottom line result. Because if your bank account's growing and you're getting to spend a little bit more money, maybe eating out twice a week instead of once a week, or getting to take a trip that you never did before, that's a good thing. And the auto industry is going to stand tall just as soon as we get all these tariffs and everything in line, get all the crooks out of Washington, clean and drain the swamps, and people can appreciate our hard-earned money that we're being taxed 2, 3, 4, 5, 10 times on, so we can feed the fire. We don't need to be doing that anymore. 214-787-1190 is the number. That's 214-787-1190. Quick break. Don't go away. We will be right back.
It's funny.
Well, good morning to my brother from another mother, Mark McCormick.
Yes.
Good to have you on board. Brother from another mother, Charlie Davis. Good to have you. Take a break.
Yes,
Be right
sir.
back.
All right. Good morning, Charlie. Hope everything's going on good out there in Lubbock, if that's where you're at. I don't know if you got much rain. We got a lot last night, expecting more today. It's nice to have the rain without having, really issues with too bad of storms. I haven't heard anything lately if there's been anything that caused a problem. Mark McCormick, good morning to you, buddy. Yes. Well said there, Kirk Chase. You're correct. Very correct. And we are here every Saturday morning. Hey, brother. We're all brothers, brother. Glad to be with everybody today on this Easter weekend. Be sure and understand what that represents. The crucifixion of and resurrection of our Lord and Savior, Jesus Christ. Don't forget that that's something that's a special weekend to observe, but we should observe that every day of our lives and what that represents and what that means. So, good morning, Mark, you said. Thank you. It is a nice day today in North Texas. We're going to have rain most of the day without having a lot of major storms with it. Just a good solid rain to help all the trees and the plants. And more mowing for me and everybody else. Get out there and do the thing out there in the yard that you got to do to make things keep rolling. I'm not a big yard guy to get out and do all that kind of stuff, but I have to do it to keep from being run out of town. No rain. Okay. 47 degrees this morning. Well, that's nice and cool, though. Probably going to be a pleasant day out there, Charlie. Yeah, it's going to be a nice, cool, wet day here. So, North Texas. Thank you, Mark. You be blessed too. Stay safe there as you head to work. Love you guys too. Love you too, buddy. Always nice to have our friends and neighbors, brothers and sisters tuning in each and every Saturday.
Love you, brother.
Yep. Each and every morning, every Saturday morning.
47 degrees.
That's what he said. Yeah. A cool spell moved in out there.
So, Charlie, you going to stay in Lubbock when you retire? You and your lovely bride, Tammy?
Probably going to move to Oklahoma where there's more tornadoes.
Oh,
That's Tornado Alley up there, buddy. Well, we get them through here in North Texas, too. Remember what happened like last year in Sanger? Blew some.
I was watching news where they show when those tornadoes hit downtown Fort Worth.
Ooh.
I totally had forgot about that. Boy,
Yeah, those windows shattered downtown. And
it was a mess down there.
That was rough.
25 seconds.
Thank you.
Thanks, Maddie.
You're welcome, Mr. Chase.
Mark McCormick, he's a hard-working dude. Every time I turn around, that man's at work. There's no rest for the weary with him.
Should be able to work.
Highly accurate.
Okay. He's looking to move towards Dallas.
Isn't this I can't remember the guy's name with Santana in this song.
I don't know who it is. I don't know who that is.
214-787-1190 is the number. That's 214-787-1190. This segment of the show goes to my good buddy out at Highly Accurate, David Gomez. The ADX is here. I drove it. I like it. I laid the seats down, got in the back seat. Actually laid down in the back seat, which seats down. Plenty of room. Great for traveling. Great for getting around. It's got that little turbo motor on it. Great gas mileage. The thing was, it felt big. It didn't feel like I'm getting into. People say it's a compact SUV. It's not. It's built from the the HRV framing, but it's a little bigger, spacious, and got all the amenities from the standard ADX to the A-Spec. I mean, you can get this bad boy loaded up. We were there a few weeks ago. We were there with the white one. We opened up, had that blue and white leather and suede interior. Unbelievable. I mean, Acura's really gone off the rails with the new Acura ADX. So you have the TLX, the ADX, MDX, RDX, and the Integra ready for delivery right now. The place, Highly Accurate Fort Worth. See my buddy David Gomez. And for service, Dean back in service, the service director. I'm going to tell you what, it is roll out the red carpet each and every time you pull up to get your car serviced. Find them online and check out all the special and the inventory at highlyaccuratfortworth.com. That's highlyaccuratfortworth.com. And meet David Gomez and his staff and enjoy sport luxury at its best. That's highlyacura.com. All right. Coming up at the top of the hour, we're going to check Bo's level of, knowledge. We'll just leave it at that on who's buying what in today's market. It has been for some time.
I need Ralph here to take a CBD.
You need Ralph for what?
I should have taken my mushroom gummies so it get my brain working better.
I got some brain boost. I got some gummies.
You do?
I got it. I got you covered. Here, let's go over some numbers real quick. There's a lot of people that are just killing it right now. Porsche sales are up 41%. Now, there's a lot of vehicles out there that their numbers are off the hook because of the Chicken Little syndrome. Tariffs are out. Buy. Everybody run out and buy. And so they're thinking, well, buy them before they're all gone. It's going to get worked out. Porsche up 41%. Volvo's up 7.5%. But you know what Volvo is really doing well? Blows me away because Volvo is a very unique segmented market.
And what do you mean by that?
Well, they don't sell a lot.
Is it more
but the people that are buying them are very brand loyal.
Well, we knew that.
They buy them no matter what, like Subaru. I have a buddy. He's 72 years old, and he's on his 9th Subaru.
Now, as far as the Volvo, is it like the Subaru where people feel safer in those vehicles? Or that they feel like
they swear by them.
That is the number one reason why they do. I know Subaru people feel that way.
Yeah, well, Subaru people, they're a lot of. It's funny. There are a lot of greenies,
right? I know
a lot of Earth people drive Subarus, and with Volvo, the women feel very, very, very safe. When you look at all the surveys and what they say about them, safety is number one. Reliability is number two. They don't talk about so much the aesthetics. They talk about quality that they know when they go out, 99% of the time it's going to start. They're going to have no issues. They love the service and the treatment. But when you look at the amount of vehicles they sell, when you have, they're selling 33,000 vehicles where Toyota's selling 200,000, Ford's selling 200,000, Chevy. I mean, it's just a big difference, in, the segmenting markets, different than your segmented luxury brands or your segmented sports brands. Volvo's its own entity. You'll never get in a Volvo and drive it and go, you know what, Bo? That drove just like that conversation coming up.
Exactly.
It's its own entity. And Genesis up 18%. Infinity, I don't know what's going on with Infinity. I sure hope Nissan goes, hang on a second. You've got the QX80, the QX60, and then the QX50 and 55. That's it. They need a luxury car out, and they said, well, you know what? We're kind of out of the car business. Get back in. The Genesis, you need to be competing with the G90. You can put a luxury brand car out there that everybody's getting away from and do a home run. Because all you've got is BMW, Lexus, Mercedes, and Audi. That's it. And you can play with them by putting out a luxury sedan. You can do it. Kurt Chase says it. You can do it. And come out the luxury brand. Because they're down to 3 models. And one of the models has 2, the 50 and the 55.
Are they all SUVs?
Oh, yeah.
See, that's the one thing I don't get is, I guess in their mind, they think that, well, an SUV, if it's a luxury, it's representative of a sedan, but it's really not. I mean, you still have, it's a higher, I don't know. I don't get why they've moved away from that.
Yeah, I sure wish Infinity would come out with a luxury sedan. They'd kill it, market it right, build the right car, build one that has that sexy, good look about it, and then everything that goes inside it, just like the Genesis G90. I think that Genesis G90 is as good as anything. And the G90 and the Audi A8, I'd love to have one of them in my garage. I just can't afford it, but I would put one of those in my garage in a heartbeat. And I don't know what's going on with Infinity. I can't imagine what the dealers are thinking, going, hang on a second, we're down here to 4 models. I mean, how do you make a living on 4 models? Come on, you got the new head of Nissan. Jump out there and let's get some good product to market. Don't speed it up and have recalls and problems, but get everybody fired up. Start that silhouette of a car and then start building on it and get that excitement back in the showroom, because I've always enjoyed Infiniti. I enjoyed their cars. Obviously, I've always enjoyed Nissan when the Maxima was out and the Altima. That Maxima was one of my all-time favorite cars. That was one boot scooting car. I loved everything about that. You had a sedan that you could make as nice as you wanted, and that thing would run like a Banshee.
What's
I
a
liked it.
Banshee?
A wild, fast animal. I'm like a wild Banshee.
Being chased by a bigger Banshee.
Yeah, absolutely incredible. So anyway, we hope that happens. So everybody's asking about, what's going on with the tariffs and what's happening and buying cars from us and getting cars from us. You got to realize Trump is finally going, hang on a second here. You're going to allow all of this we're going to allow all this in the country. You're going to start taking our stuff. And people don't understand it. Let me give you some numbers. China's retaliatory tariffs to respond to the U.S. is 150% on vehicles. Well, Ford has adjusted exports to China. And let me just help you here and show you how bad the numbers are. When you figure the hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of billions of dollars of stuff coming in from China, get this. Ford shipped 5,500. That's it. F-150s, Mustangs, Navigators to China last year. Well below, and get this, the previous year was 20,000. They went from 20,000 units being shipped to China to 5,500. Where's the balance? Now, if you're the manufacturer, that's a big concern. If you're the president of the United States, a good president, you're concerned. If you're not concerned, something else is going on here. The largest employer in the world, the largest industry in the world, and we're taking 5,500 cars, but we're letting them put all their stuff in here. And they send us a lot of stuff that's just cheap junk. And we build one of the best quality products in the world, but we're going to put a kibosh on this and that and what's coming in and what's not. And stick with them. Be in prayer, and let's get this thing turned around real quick. And then we won't hear the word tariffs anymore because the playing field has been made level. You don't want to go play football where every time you get the ball, they tilt the field up. You don't. And that's what the Democrats have done. They've tilted the field up against this president that's creating a level playing field. We will all benefit from it. And I am really big because I've been in the auto industry for 37 years, and it cannot fail. 214-787-1190. That's 214-787-1190. Quick break. We'll be right back.
Well, look what they did to Tom Brady with the inflate gate. If you're not playing fair, you're going to get punished.
Yep.
And it's about time that these countries that are not being played fair get punished till you start playing fair.
That's right.
And I don't understand why nobody, if they have a trouble understanding that, why they don't get it.
Yeah.
It helps the American economy, the American people. And when you've been in something bad for so long, you just learn to accept it. You just sort of like, I think about.
Well, think about what the Democrats do. They put a fear factor in you that if we cut off China, prices are going to go through the roof. We can't afford American products. I'm like, think about that statement for a minute. That if we had more manufacturers here, we had more people in the factories, they weren't sweatshops, we're not paying them $1 a day, and we're building good quality products that are going to last longer, what does that mean? But you got all those morons, and I will say, just like Harry Truman said, if they're getting rich being in Congress, we got a problem. Now, I know everybody has portfolios and investment, but not like what's going on right now. This is basic, simple math. And that's why all the pardons went out. We're going to protect all the thieves and the liars. Absolutely incredible. So let's let the cards play out. And I'm telling you, it's going to be a win-win for everybody. But now we have senators going over to El Salvador because they don't like the prison conditions and who's in there. What about all the people here in the United States that are suffering? What about all the homelessness? What about our vets that aren't getting taken care of fast enough? But you want to go over to El Salvador and talk about one person that they've already got so much information on.
There's a kickback with all that. If you don't think there is, and nobody's doing that other humanitarian issue, there's something more to that than what is in between the lines. And this tariff situation reminds me of the Israelites when Moses was going to lead them out of Egypt, and they were happy to go. They want to go because they didn't get treated right. They weren't fair. It's like the tariffs. They weren't getting treated right. So he let them out. They get out in the desert because he was leading them to the promised land. But a lot of them wanted to go back to Egypt because they didn't want to be suffering a little bit, knowing that they were going to be promised the promised land.
The land of milk and honey.
The land of milk and honey was coming to them, but they just had to be patient with
Wasn't
it.
fast enough.
Wasn't fast enough. They wanted to go back in slavery again to Egypt, and until finally they got the promised land. But in between that's what a lot of American people are doing, is moaning and complaining like, blah, blah, blah. That's exactly what the Israelites are doing while they were in the middle state of coming out of slavery, going to freedom and the promised land. Promised land's coming. You have to understand that for American people when we get this thing straightened out.
Well, shame on all of them for taking care of people that have records versus all the American tax-paying people that are struggling.
Correct.
Shame on every one of them. Got to be kicked right out of office.
There's
Kick them out.
kickbacks is what the kicks are. No doubt about it. Follow the money.
Yep. (214-787-1190) is the number. That's 214-787-1190. This segment of the show goes to Classic Kia Carrollton, my buddy Jesse Hull and his family. Family owned and operated. It makes a difference. And congratulations to Kathy and Jesse for another anniversary, and happy birthday to Kathy. He's got his one of his boys is CFO. His other son is taking care of the internet and customer satisfaction. And then you have the managing partner, Dad. And it makes a difference when you show up. And Jesse has got an open door. He wants to hear what's going on, see what's going on. And he told me next week he's going to start publishing a cell number.
How about that?
The owner.
How about that?
You get to call him up directly and go, hey, here's what we need. We didn't get what we wanted, which is probably going to be not very often he'll get them calls, but can you help me? We want to do this. We want to do that. Or maybe there was a slip up. No one's perfect. He's going to take care of it. So from hello to congratulations to hello to come back and see us, Classic Carrollton got you covered. And that new K4, a must drive. You're looking for a car under $23,000, well equipped. Jesse and I jumped in the car and took it out for a drive, and I'm in. In fact, my son was asking about it. I said, buddy, when you can pay for it, you can get a new car. The place, Classic Kia Carrollton, the new K4, K5, the Sportage, the long-running Kia Soul, the hottest, one of the hottest selling full-size SUV, the Telluride, the great family wagon, the Carnival, and then the top-selling EV6, EV9, all at one location, 35 and 121, or just start online at ClassicKiaCarrollton.com. Okay, everybody that's online, you can participate here. If you could buy a car, truck, or SUV, what would it be and what brand? And we're going to start with you. If you could have a car, truck, or SUV, what would it be?
I want a truck. I like trucks.
So Bo wants a truck. And what kind of truck?
Well, nobody makes a bad truck, as you say.
No. You got to pick one here. I'm going to.
You're going to pick. Okay. Oh, man, that is tough.
You going with a Tundra? a Ford F-150, a Chevy Silverado, or a Dodge Ram?
And do I have to pay for it, or is it like?
No, you just get it. You just get the keys.
I want a Tundra.
You want a Tundra, okay?
So I've never had one. I've had the Ford and a Ram, which I both loved.
Okay.
So, but I think I'd like to have a Tundra.
All right, everybody that's watching, if you were given a vehicle, you could just get one, car, truck, or SUV. Which one would it be, and what brand?
Ty said all three.
You can't play that way, Ty. You got to be specific.
I should have done that too.
That's right. So,
Beautiful.
Kurt's going with car.
Ooh.
And what kind of car am I going with?
A Audi or a Genesis?
I'm not.
What?
Going with Corvette.
Oh, you've had 1,000 of them. I figured. Why would you do that again? I figured you'd go out of the box.
Number one would be my Corvette. I just love that car.
I know you do.
I love everything about it.
Ty said he'd go with the truck, but you got to narrow it down to which
what
one.
kind of truck, Ty? You going with Toyota, Ford, Chevy, or Ram?
Probably a 1960 Silverado.
Yep. Okay, and then I'm going to go, if I was going to go with the truck, what would it be? We already know.
He says a 2500 HD Silverado diesel engine. Boy, that's a bad boy right there.
Oh, yeah.
Good
So,
choice.
Him and I are going both ways. We're both going 3/4 ton diesel. I like the Ford Platinum diesel. I mean, I wish I could afford it. I wish I could afford the A8 or the G90. I'd have all of them in my garage. I would be modern. Now, if I could go old school and go back and get anything, I'd get a El Camino SS.
Of course.
No doubt about it. The old cowboy Cadillac. No doubt about it. I'd have one of those. So, all right. So we got a Tundra, a Chevy, and a Ford in the truck. If anybody else wants to call in or play along, 214-787-1190. That's 214-787-1190. Maddie, are you listening? Are you there, Maddie? Maddie, are you there? Oh, we call Maddie's on her cell phone.
Break 19 for Maddie.
Maddie's gone.
Remember those days?
Okay. That's right.
What are you saying about me?
Oh, well, she's back. Okay, Maddie, you get to get anything you want, a car, truck, or SUV. You got to pick one of those three before we pick the model. Which one's it going to be? A car, truck, or SUV?
And the brand model.
No, first got to be a car, truck, or SUV.
All right.
Which one?
Is this like a dream car or just anything that I think is practical?
Okay, if you got to answer the first question first. A car, truck, or an SUV? Which one?
SUV.
Okay. And so what SUV would you want?
Well, right now I really like the ADX.
There you go.
I do too. That's a nice vehicle.
So Maddie picks the Acura ADX. I like the ADX.
Are you preparing for a family with that SUV?
You don't even need a family
Well,
for an SUV.
I would like to have a family in the future. So to minimize cost and buy more cars in the future, it would make sense to get an SUV.
Well,
now.
there you go. Good.
Yeah, those things are great, man. You lower those seats, it's a throw and go, baby. That's what I like about it.
It's kind of it's a sporty SUV too.
That's right. All right. So if y'all want to post whatever you're thinking, Charlie Davis, he's got a truck and he's going Chevy. He's riding along with Ty Jetman. Clint Moore
Chevy
for a half-ton Chevy. All right, Clint. There's
He wants the
another
diesel
Chevy.
too with the max tow.
Oh, you know what? I'm going to put their diesel on. Jason Long, the general sales manager at Eldorado Chevrolet, got his demo, and he's driving that 1500 diesel, and he's got property in Paris. He said he went to Paris and back and didn't burn a quarter of a tank.
Wow.
Oh, my goodness gracious. Yeah, Duramax diesel, autocorrect. Yeah.
It said Durand.
I got you. We know what you're talking about.
Yeah, we
got you. All right. 214-787-1190. Would you drive a car, truck, or SUV? And then what make and model would you have? So we got a lot of truck people, but you're in the great state of Texas. We got a Tundra, Chevy, and a Ford.
Covering all the bases.
Yep.
Except nobody says Ram yet, which surprises me a little.
You know, well, I tell you,
You're already driving one, so
yeah, I got one. I've got a new 2025 Rebel, and that is a pretty special truck. And I wasn't even going to buy it. My wife said, "You got to see this truck on the showroom floor." And I showed up, and I was like, "Holy schmoly!" And they pulled it off the showroom floor, and
it's got black wheels.
Everything I said I wouldn't buy, Bo gets to bust my chops now because I bought it. But anyway, I love it. It's really cool because I have this massive screen where I can see everything. And then over the glove box, my wife has her own personal TV that she can navigate or put in a Fire Stick and watch TV and do her thing if we're traveling a little bit. And so, yeah, it's a pretty special truck. So I'm blessed and highly favored to have it. And the bet is how long I'm going to keep it. I don't know. In fact, I've already got an offer on the truck already. And actually, the guy yesterday that came by to take a look at my fence was like, "I sure like that truck." And he's driving a Mopar edition.
Oh, okay.
And he's like, "Wow." And I went, "Yeah, wow." So, yeah, it's a truck, guys. Man, and it's so funny. Everybody likes leaning over the bed of a truck and talking.
We have 1 minute.
Okay.
Was that 1 minute, Maddie?
Yeah, we have to wrap it up. We have about a minute until we hit the top of the hour.
Yeah, we're about.
Got it. All right, let's take a quick break. We get back. Who's driving what in today's market here on the Automotive Edge Radio Show on 1190 KFXR, part of the iHeartMedia Network. We'll be right back. Buddy, you got a ways to go here, a little behind the eight ball. You want me to throw some purple ones out there? Thanks everybody for joining us. Yeah, that Duramax diesel. I drove it the other day, and I sure like it. It's something about driving a diesel truck, whether it's the Cummins diesel, the Duramax diesel. I got to tell you, I really, really enjoy it. You know, I got into that Ford Platinum diesel and 3/4 ton. And boy, oh boy, I started hearing that Roger Miller song, King of the Road, while I was driving it. Absolutely incredible. Then I go over and drive the 3/4 ton Duramax, and then I drove the 3/4 ton Ram. And I'm going, I have no need for it. I don't have a trailer. Don't have a boat. Don't do any towing. But boy, oh boy, are they something special to drive. I really enjoy driving those big trucks. And then that Roger Miller song, King of the Road, comes playing in my head. I'm going, do I really? Should I? I've never owned a 3/4 ton diesel. I've owned a half-ton diesel, half-ton gas, many half-ton gas, but I've never stepped up. And boy, the King Ranch, the interior kind of, I like to do my own thing on the interior, and it comes with that dark saddle brown. It's good looking, not my gig, but that platinum, boy, oh boy. In fact, I would buy a 3/4 ton XLT diesel and then do all the goodies on the inside of myself. I love putting, my own custom leather in there with American Upholstery. My friend Sheila Hainline helps me with that, and I enjoy doing it up with that. But anyway, a lot of truck buyers. Trucks. I would figure you were going to say SUV.
No, I'm not a really big SUV guy.
Yeah, I tell you what, I saw that.
Especially with the way the trucks are made, how comfortable they are, set up high and can see things really well, and then have stuff that to go buy at Home Depot or Lowe's or one of those that you can get a lot of stuff in the back without damaging the inside of an SUV. Or have, because the SUV just doesn't hold what a truck will hold in the back. And there's just a lot of times where you want to do that.
Yeah. To
go pick up something like that and not have it worry about paying the outlandish price to have it delivered, that you can just throw it in the back of your pickup. There's always things like that I've always used a pickup for.
All my buddies, they laugh going, dude, do you ever use the bed of your truck? Like yesterday, I hauled a bunch of grass. Man, that thing's spotless. I take the blower and I blow everything out.
Cool.
Then I rinse it out. But I'm real anal about my stuff. So when I go to trade, you're not going to go, boy, he really wore this out. I mean, I've always been very detailed about the cleanliness of my vehicles.
Well, and that's good. But even if you are not that way, the pickups are always great to have to be able to move things from one place to another. And you just never know what that's going to be. And to put it inside an SUV, it's pretty decorative in there, carpeted. Even if you put the seats down, that's all carpeted. And you're not going to want to put stuff in there that's going to ruin that. And you don't have the height because you have a ceiling. On a truck, you don't. So you don't have to worry about those kind of things. So
the thing that bugs me about my truck is the sunroof.
Because you don't know how to use it or what?
No, I just sunroofs and pickup trucks, I've never put them together.
Well, you got one, so utilize it. Yeah, Ty, you're right. Always putting something about a pickup truck. Always need that. Would we listen to the whole album or what?
214-787-1190 is the number. That's 214-787-1190. It's the Automotive Ed Radio Show, top of the hour, helping you with all your automotive needs, whether you're buying, selling, trading, leasing, parts, service, body shop. We got you covered. Be sure to share and like. A lot of y'all did that a few weeks ago, and I was shocked how many people call me and go, what do you do? How can you help me? How much do you charge? That's incredible. Well, we want to make sure that we help people with all their automotive needs. There's never a charge. Handshake, hug, or a prayer. I'll take all three. Maybe a slice of apple. I miss my apple pies.
They're good, aren't they?
Oh, she did that little cinnamon sugar on top of them, and she weaved the dough. Yeah, put one of those in front of my fat belly, and I'm going to eat it. Give me a cold glass of milk. Hey, this segment is brought to you by Grapevine Dodge. We're going to be there next week live. Come on out and see us. The all-new Grapevine Dodge. Brandon and his team have remodeled this building. I mean, from studs to bare concrete to one of the most friendly, usable dealerships I've seen, and I couldn't tell you. You walk in, it's all state-of-the-art, but here's the thing. They aren't pushing that remodel to the consumers. Simply go to grapevinedodge.com. That's grapevinedodge.com, and look at the specials. And I would just tell you, Brandon ain't playing around. He wants to be a top volume dealer, and the only way to get there is the 3 Ps, the right people, the right process, and let the product sell itself by you getting out and test driving it. You get all 3 at grapevinedodge.com. That's grapevinedodge.com. Come on out next week. We're going to be there live, and just come take a test drive and check out the products. Meet the folks out there. Bo and I would like to say hello. And we always got some giveaways just for stopping by and say hello. I just got my new mugs in. So if you'd like a free coffee mug, I mean, you say, well,
you got your mug shot on a mug?
Yeah. I'd never do that. I never would.
I know a good one, the one, the picture of us at the McDonald's.
Oh, yeah. That's a good one. Yeah. I'd like to get that microphone that we have and have our caricatures on both sides. I just can't find anybody to do it. And then I was going to download this one app, and they said, don't do it. Why? It said it's owned by Russia, and they can hack into your system. I'm like, well, isn't that special? I just want a caricature. Yeah.
Here it is up there. I edited a little bit. That's what we need.
You need the Hamburglar.
Oh,
greatness. So anyway, come join us next Saturday at Grapevine Dodge, but start today at grapevinedodge.com. All right, let's have some fun. And if y'all want to call in and play along and you think you know about who's driving what, let's find out. Let's start with Acura. What is the percentage males versus females that drive Acuras?
I'm going to say more females.
Really? Huh.
Well, my wife watches, so I figured it's
65% male, 35 female.
Well, one thing is because that new shaker that they've added to that.
Yep. Integra. 75K income plus a year, and over 60% have kids under 18 years old.
Wow.
What about Audi, male to female?
I'd say female.
65% male, 35% female, 100 plus income, and college educated.
There you go.
Well, oh, here's one for you. BMW.
I'm still going to go with the ladies.
It got a little better, 60-40, man.
Well,
female.
hold on. Is it because more men are buying the cars than women?
Well, they always have.
Well, then that's why it's that way.
But it changes. It's not going to be that way down the whole list.
Okay, well, all right, we'll see.
100K income, 80% holding degrees with BMW. What about Lexus?
I'm staying with the ladies.
Real close, 54 to 46.
All right. Getting close.
100K plus income. And what do you think the average age is on Lexus buying them?
I'm going to say 35.
54.
Oh, wow.
Yep.
I would have thought it'd been younger.
Cadillac. What do you think, male to female?
Male.
60-40. Yep. What do you think the age bracket is?
55, 60.
Yeah, you're right. Dead on. 100 plus income. Buick. This gets a little closer.
I'd say, probably 50-50.
You're right at 52-48. Income, 80,000 plus. And what do you think the age is?
55, 60.
Yeah, 55 and older. Very good. Chevrolet.
Women.
60-40, men to women.
Oh.
Pickup trucks.
Wow, because of trucks.
And get this. 90% of Chevrolets sold reside in the U.S.
Wow.
And what do you think the average age is? This blew me away.
I'm going to say 25, 30.
56.
Oh.
I wouldn't have thought that
I
one.
wouldn't either.
What about GMC?
I'd say close to the same.
Yeah, close to the same. Very good. Yep. How about this one? Honda.
I'm going to say ladies on that.
Close. 55-45. 69K income. And family is 65% of ownership. What about Hyundai?
I'm going to say similar.
50-50.
Oh, yeah.
What do you think the average age of a Hyundai owner is?
30, 35.
49 and older.
Wow.
I would have never put that. Okay, well, here's this one you'll get the age on. Lincoln. What do you think the split is, men versus women?
Oh, it's definitely women.
57-43 men.
Wow.
94K income, educated, and 60% of all Lincoln owners are 55 and older. What about, now this one I didn't get, Jeep. Now, Ty said, what about Jeep? I think more women
drives those now than men.
Okay. And what do you think Jeep is?
I'm going to say women with him.
65-35, men to women.
Oh, wow. Because women are always bragging about Jeeps and wanting Jeeps.
Yeah,
and
50
Jeeps.
and older is the majority buyers.
Well, maybe the women brag about wanting them, but the men actually get them.
Okay, what about Kia?
Okay. I'm going to go men, I guess.
50-50.
Oh, well, Kia's a great car.
And they're in their 40s, which is lower the age. 58K income and going north. Nissan, what do you think it is?
I'm going to say men.
Very good. 55-45. Average age on a Nissan. I'd have never put a number on this one.
I'm going to say 30.
50.
Don't kids drive buy cars 25 and 30?
There you go.
Well, they've been given to them?
Yeah, I'm going, wow. There you go. So there's a rundown. I found that very interesting. A buddy of mine sent me the article, and I was going through it, and there was a lot of cars that I figured out real quick. He sent me the trivia side, and when you get into Volvo women, when you got into Mercedes-Benz, it was 50-50.
I still think that's a little misleading because the fact that if more men are buying the vehicles than women, it's going to be naturally what anything they buy is going to be more.
Well, here's the thing where I agree with the numbers are skewed, because how many men are buying them for women because that's what they want?
Well, that's what I'm part of what I'm talking about. If they're actually physically buying the car, they may not even buy it for themselves.
Yeah.
They may be buying it for their wife or their girlfriend or both.
Yeah, the guy walks in, my wife wants that
Right.
car.
Correct.
Yeah,
That's what I'm talking about.
I agree. There's that, what do you say, a curve.
Curve.
Yeah, there's a curve in there.
Skewed.
214-787-1190 is the number. That's 214-787-1190. Still your top buys coming up here on the Automotive Edge Radio Show. It hadn't changed. I'm going to run through them. And I don't know who James is, but I appreciate your comments and your feedback. I'm not a Democrat hater. I'm not a Trump lover. I'm an American tax-paying citizen. I know right from wrong, and I know who's doing good, and I know who's doing bad. And I know that there's some Republicans with their hands in the cookie jar, I'm sure. I can't prove it. But we know for a fact what the Democrats have been doing, starting with Adam Schiff. No doubt about it. That's why he was removed from chairman of the committee. Why was that? So I'm just telling you, as time goes on, more and more and more stuff's going to come to fruition. But here's the deal. More Americans need to stand up peacefully and get this crap cleaned up peacefully. So do I love President Trump? I don't love him. I love what he's doing. I don't know him enough to love him. But I don't like when Democrats are over at a prison, when we've got all these people living in the streets and dying and being taken advantage of, being wrongly prosecuted, and somebody has a record and you want to go to El Salvador on the American dime.
But it's not even American.
And he's here illegally. I don't know, just thinking out loud, but you know what? There's a difference between right and wrong, and it's not about Republican and Democrat. 214-787-1190. I love you, and I appreciate the comments here on the Automotive Edge Radio Show. Quick break. We'll be right back. You know how happy I am I don't have to turn my water on today?
I know, isn't it great? And a good soaking, too. That's so much better than just hosing it. That gets in the ground way down there.
And the hardest part about putting St. Augustine down
is on dry ground.
You've got to scrape all the grass and get it clean. The guy goes, the only way that this is going to root the best way is if you're putting it on clean ground. If you're throwing this on top of grass,
no,
you're going to lose probably half of it. It's okay. So I was out there digging up my yard, scraping my yard, and got the grass down.
You know, I've thought about you. I've been seeing these electric lawnmowers that I'm surprised you didn't buy.
Yeah, right.
They're great. I have one, battery powered. I love it. I have a riding mower, John Deere, that I do for the bigger areas. Then I've got a smaller area that I mow by hand, and I love that battery operated mower.
Okay,
it's great. Okay. Charge it and go. I don't have to worry about cranking it and checking this and cranking it and cranking it.
But that new 4-stroke Toro, one pull.
Yeah, it's because it's new.
But here's the thing.
Wait till you get a little miles on it and you're out there cranking it.
Go look how clean my mower is. When I get done.
That doesn't have anything to do with
it. It does. It's baloney. Now, you look at the fuel I buy the can of clean 4-cycle fuel.
I don't have to buy fuel at all.
Okay. And when I'm done, I take my air compressor and I clean that whole thing out. Every bit of it, top and bottom. Do you know that the mayor next door, I've never seen this. He's got a mower you plug the hose into and you turn it on and it facilitates cleaning the undercarriage.
Yeah, my John Deere has that.
I didn't know. I was like, man, that's so cool. They didn't have any when I went to buy mine because we were paying a guy to do my yard when I fractured my vertebrae last year. And I hated seeing somebody mow my yard. Hated it because I like yard work. And so being out there doing it, absolutely incredible. But I clean it all out, and where the power drives in the front wheels, I get the compressor in there and blow all that out, and I spray a little WD-40. I mean, I keep my stuff nice. That last mower I had that mower for 14 years.
Good.
And all I had to do on those, they had the primer, but I would prime it once, pull it, boom. I put a new spark plug in it every year.
See, I don't have to go buy gas. I just take the battery, put it in, and go.
How long does it run?
Well, enough to do what I need to do, and I got 2 batteries.
I don't think it would do my whole yard.
I bet it would. No doubt.
You think?
I'll bring it over and we'll do it.
Let's test it. I bet it won't do my yard.
You talking about the back and front?
Uh-huh.
I bet it would.
I bet it won't.
I bet it would. I already know because the area I mow is.
Add to that 6 cases of Dr. Pepper I owe you.
And four
407
barbecues. I'm waiting for one of those yet.
Yeah, Dwight's like, why do y'all keep talking about 407 and you eat here? I said, just teasing. Just teasing.
Yeah. Does yours have self-propel?
Mm-hmm.
Well, that's good.
Yeah, it's got the one start handle, and then you just reach down and grab the other one. And man, that thing, I hacked my yard yesterday, and then I fertilized it knowing I was going to get a good rain today. And it was so funny.
You have a gas weed eater?
Oh, yeah.
Those are crazy.
They're brutal.
Those are
brutal.
I use an electric one, too, on that. Same brand as my mower. Boy, those are so nice. Go.
Yeah, this one you pull it about 20 times coming out of winter.
Out. Done with that. I'm not doing that no more.
Yeah.
I'll shove that battery on that thing and pull the trigger, and it goes.
Well, as I get older, it may come down to that. But right now,
I'm going to bring on my electric stuff over one day, and you're going to go, Bo, this is great.
Yeah, my old fat butt can pull that string. But, here again, I empty the fuel out in the winter. I put a stabilizer in it.
All I hear is work. That's what I hear. I don't hear like I just shove the battery in and go.
And my strings are 13 inches, and I cut about a dozen of them every year and put them aside, so I'm ready to go. 214-787-1190. This segment of the show goes to Grapevine Ford, the true home of the love it or leave it promise. You don't absolutely love that vehicle when you get it home, bring it back. Cameron and Cameron, the 2 sales managers there, they're going to take care of you. Cameron Hedman and Cameron Martin, 2 really good car guys. And Chaz Gilmore, the managing partner there, and his staff, they're rocking and rolling right there between Main Street and Texan Trail there on Highway 114, right across from the airport. Stop in and see them. I'm telling you, they're doing employee pricing on all their Fords. You want to save money right now and get a good APR, get the best of both worlds, head to Grapevine Ford. A lot of people are doing this and doing that. I'm just telling you, you get the best of both worlds. You get a great product with great people, and you don't have to negotiate. Here's the employee pricing. Let's get back to finance. Sign your paperwork. Press hard 3 copies. Down the road Motors. Just that simple. That's some good old car lingo right there. The place, grapevine.ford.com. That's grapevine.ford.com. Right next door, David Kled, general manager, Grapevine Lincoln. Stop in and see him. David was my boss many years ago when I went from one Ford store to another, and gave me my opportunity to work for him. And now he's rock and rolling with one of the best luxury lines in the business, Lincoln. Start online 24/7 at grapevine.ford.com. That's grapevine.ford.com.
Daryl McGrath says, Guillermo does my yard. I don't need gas or electric.
Guillermo.
Don't blame you.
I hear
I'm going to
you.
be moving that direction here pretty soon myself.
All right. The best buys in today's market are your domestics right now because of employee pricing. You pay what they pay. Can't go wrong. I mean, you look at Ford, Chevy, and Dodge employee pricing. I mean, a lot of people come in, hey, I don't want to negotiate. I want all the back and forth. Well, the timing is right now to save the money. And then the discounts on the pickup trucks, it's amazing. Ford came out and announced this price. Then Dodge came out and announced this price. And Chevy came out and announced this price. And then Tundra was like, hang on, we got a lot of inventory. And now we're going to put big discounts on them, and we're going to put APRs on them. And next thing you know, you turn around, bam, there's even more coming. Actually, the pricing that you're getting on some of these vehicles with rebates and everything goes beyond employee pricing. How about that on pickup trucks? That is the best way to save money and not to worry about being upside down or having negative equity when you drive off the lot like our parents are. When you drive off the lot, you lose 35% immediately. I don't know what you're buying to lose 35%, but it all comes down to what you're paying for it as well. And right now, pickup trucks are the best buy. And now they're jumping on the board when you start looking at the Chevy Equinox, the Chevy Trax, Malibus. The Malibu's going away, $5,000 off remaining Malibus. And then you take a look at the Ford. Take a look at their Expedition, the Ford Edge. I mean, some of these vehicles over Grapevine Ford, they're giving better than $10,000 off, which supersedes employee pricing. So great time right now on domestic products. And I just tell you, people a lot of times go, well, Kurt, I just never had luck with domestic. Well, that old song by, I'm not sure if it was the Osmonds or the Jackson 5, one bad apple doesn't spoil the whole bunch. You can't take, and I hear that a lot. I hear a lot of testimony going, I bought this car, and what a piece of junk. I'll never go back. And I'm like, well, when was it? 1984. Okay, well, I get it. Today, the kicker with vehicles is the old term LOF. And we have an LOF on the drive, which is lube, oil, and filtered. Well, I take LOF to today and go, that's the way a car is maintained. Good tires, good fluids, keep everything changed, keep it lubed up, keep your filters clean, and your car will last a long time. The tough part about Texas right now is everybody is moving here, it seems like. Every time we turn around, I see there's another 250,000 people here, another 100,000 here, another. Well, guess what? The infrastructure has to change. So look at all the construction that's going on. You've seen it more than anybody coming down 35. Goodness gracious. I didn't think they would.
Just in my neighborhood. It's crazy.
And now they're widening it again. And they're adding more lanes. It's absolutely incredible. I said, why do they have those petitions that are so far apart going down? He goes, that's when they come into more money. They can add another lane. And so that's what's really wearing and tearing a lot of the cars in Texas is the starting and stopping, potholes, repairs that need to be done, and then the
rocks
expansion.
Coming at you from the big trucks and cement trucks. And it takes a beating if you're in a real constructive area. Remember that, what was it, 156? It was going through that area that I think your brother lives at. How bad that was for forever?
That was a whooping.
Oh, was it ever? I don't even go there.
And now you can take 170 all the way through.
Right.
So that's one of the reasons for cars really getting beat up. But, when I see cars, I saw a car the other day, this lady, she goes, look my car over and tell me how many miles you think are on it. And I'm looking this car over, and
was it beat up?
It was no pick. This thing was plain as a whistle. And I'm looking at it, and I knew something was up when I saw an old quilt on the covering the back seat. I was like, oh my gosh. I pulled it off and I looked. She goes, I listen to your show. My spare's full of air. Oh, beautiful. And I'm looking this whole thing over. This thing had 189,000 miles on it. That. And it was mint. And I said, what's the deal? And she goes, every 5,000 miles, I change the oil. I rotate the tires. I'm fortunate that I get to park it in the garage. And she said, I leave the garage open until my car cools down. You wouldn't believe how. And
she had a whole system, right?
And I'm looking at this car, and I couldn't even find a mark on the front where you might pick up a pebble or a rock or whatever. No chips. And I'm going, incredible. And she goes, the problem is it's not worth that much. And I'm going, man, oh man, somebody is going to get it. Because she goes, I'm going to quit driving here next year, and I want to sell it or give it to somebody. I'm like, wow, what a car. But when you look at her maintenance and everything on it, I get it. And the deal with people nowadays is we're in such a hurry. You jump in the car, you turn it on, and there's a lot of misnomers about, do you need to keep a car? Do you need to warm it up? No. When I jump in my truck, I start the truck, make sure my mirror's adjusted, and I'm gone. That deal where your car needs to warm up 5 minutes before you put it in
They
gear.
also say that's not good for the car.
Yeah, now I understand you want your car warmed up when it's freezing cold, or you want it cooled down when it's really hot. And the part about cooling it down is when you get into a car and it's parked outside, it's really hot, open up all the windows and turn your air conditioner on non-circulatory, meaning the air is coming from the outside in, not circulating inside, and you'll cool the car down quicker. You're letting that hot air rise out of the car, and that cooler air is coming down, and it's denser, so it's a heavier air. It's not going to dissipate and run out like the hot air is. And so there's some things that you can do to cool your car down much, much quicker. When it comes to heating it up, it's just got to get warm, period. But leaving it in your garage running for 5 minutes, that's not a good thing to do. Get the car running, and it will actually heat up faster versus being in idle. And take care of it and maintain it. And then these cars are worth good money, and they last longer. But we're in such a hurry to get to, fast food isn't fast enough. The light can't turn green quick enough. You can't get over in the fast lane fast enough. And that's why people are having problems with the car. Yeah, you wouldn't believe it. I'm already having to change the oil and put tire. Well, look at your driving habits. That's really the bigger problem, and how well you're maintaining the automobile.
How do you feel about cleaning your engine, and how's the best way to do that?
Well, the thing is that a lot of people, they take that high pressure hose about 2,000 PSI and open the hood, just they start. Here's the deal. You should step back. For me, on the older cars, I would get the car hot, and there was a cleaner. I'd spray it on there, and you could see the grease starting to come down, all the buildup, but I would stand back with the soapy wand and get it off. People put that stuff right on top of it, and you think 2,000 PSI, you're going to tear something up.
What you're saying, though, it is good to clean it, but clean it right.
Yeah, but now these cars are, most of the new cars, when you open the hood, they're covered with a plenum.
Right.
There's not like there's a whole bunch of mess underneath it.
True.
Like the old one where, the oil would come out of the side eventually, or.
Well, there's a lot of dirt if people live in an area that's real dirty, roads and stuff.
Yeah. If you go to a place where, oil was spilled, or whatever
Right.
the case may be. But if you're going to do it
right.
Yeah, you need to be very careful. Putting 2,000 PSI directly on those cars, I wouldn't do it.
You still think it's sort of keep it running doing it too? Remember the old days was you turn the engine off and then do it?
Yeah, because
keep it running so it wouldn't die.
Yeah. And then you had to make sure you screwed down the filter with the covering the carburetor real tight. Yeah, those days are kind of in the past. Let's take a quick break. 214-787-1190. Don't go away. We'll be right back.
If this doesn't work on your hat, I'll take it home and work on it some more. Give it a little extra boost on it. I did a quick thing on it.
Yeah, I had that thing on for a minute and I went, no way.
Yeah, I'm surprised because I got what you normally get that works.
It's just that brim is real hard, and I mean it was just like super. When I took it off with 1 minute, I had a big old crease right here.
Mm-hmm. Well, I'll work on it. I'll get it right. I may have to take it home with me, but I'll get it. What are we listening to?
Isn't that amazing that people didn't like Antebellum, and she went to Lady A? I didn't like the name. Okay, well, don't listen. It's amazing how the few are creating the most noise, and I tell them all,
boy, that
hit
is
the bricks.
no lie.
Hit the
That
bricks.
is no doubt.
If you don't like the country, leave. If you don't like what someone's doing, ignore them.
Well, my deal is if you want to go save that guy in El Salvador, invite him to your home, take him in, register him as your overseer of him, and give him a place to live, feed him, and take care of him. So you're ready to do that. Shut your trap.
Yeah, put an ankle monitor on him, and when he cuts it off, you both go back to El Salvador.
Yeah, but it's ridiculous. You're wanting people to do things that are not correct to do, that you're not even willing to do yourself. Until you're willing to do that, shut your trap.
Well, just think on the taxpayer dollar with his entourage and the media going to El Salvador. Now let's talk about the thousands of dollars it costs to do that. When you've got all of these people here in the United States that are American citizens paying taxes and suffering, and you want to pack up and go to El Salvador, they should fire him. Fire him on the spot. Not even blink about it, sir.
Well, I don't see why he even thinks that he has the right to even do that.
Well, here's the thing. They said there are federal laws preventing him to do that, thinking that he can go over there and make the decisions on behalf of the federal government. And I'm like, fire him and then prosecute him.
Yeah.
If that's the law, don't give him a gold Willy Wonka ticket because he's a senator.
No.
Or a representative.
Well, that's the whole problem with those.
Because what were they hollering about Trump? Lock him up.
Well, they were quick to do that, but then they don't want to do that when it comes to them.
That's my whole thing is you're over in El Salvador when all these people could use your help and money and position, and you're doing it as a public promotion for yourself that's going to backfire. I don't get it. Now, I think, let me clarify. I don't think anybody should be illegally prosecuted. I don't think anybody should be illegally deported. I think that the people that are doing it the right way and filing their paperwork and coming across the right way and making a better life for them and their family, 100% in on it. 100%. Add 10 to that, 110%. But when you don't, look what happens to those people that got it. I forgot what country, Iraq or Iran. They crossed over the deal. They didn't realize where they were. They locked them up.
1 minute.
Look at how many Americans are still overseas locked up. How come that senator isn't over there getting them home?
Yeah, what about that? What about that move?
How come you're not over fighting for the Americans that are being illegally detained?
There's got to be some
you're going over
underhanded nonsense going on. Is the only reason it's happening.
Yep.
Follow the money.
Yep. Good old George Soros. He's got all this negative stuff going. That's the guy they need to deport, not let back into the country. Get rid of him.
Where's he live?
I don't know. But every time you turn around, you hear George Soros funded this. George Soros funded that. George Soros is backing that. And it's all to keep
anti-American stuff, too.
It's all to keep the American people
divided,
separated, divided, and on edge so they can continue to do what they want to do.
That's all the reasons for it.
And we're way smarter than that. But now that Trump's president, we don't have to be in fear of retaliatory problems with our own federal government.
Correct. Kind of speak up a little
Did
louder.
you see that one kid that stabbed the other kid in Frisco? They swatted the kid that got killed. They swatted the dad.
Crazy.
You know where they get online?
Yeah. Oh, that's crazy, dude.
I'm like, until you told me what that was, I had no idea. And he wasn't home, and all the security cameras come in here, SWAT team, and I'm going, this is a nut.
Yeah, that whole thing's nutty.
Yeah. You know what? Put God in your life, and a lot of this goes away. 214-787-1190. Remember, he has risen. Tomorrow is Easter, and I hope everybody that's having problems puts it aside. Family disputes get put aside. Our differences get put aside because he's risen. He was sacrificed for our sins. And now we have an opportunity to say thank you. And go to church or take time to pray. Call that person up and tell them you're sorry. Forgive. Let all that stuff go. Get rid of that excess baggage. And have a great Easter Sunday. I can't wait. I get to be with the grandkids, and my grandson told me I had to bring my own Easter basket. He wasn't sharing. I said, can I hold yours while you pick them up? He goes, nope, bring your own. So just remember what Easter is about. And what a great day to let all this BS go. and all the hatred and anger and everything.
Technically, we should live like that every day.
And continue to pray for the people that are causing all the problems. Pray for them. I mean, I go biblical real quick. So let's remember what Easter is all about. He has risen, and the reason why we're here is because what he sacrificed for us. And when we turn our focus to that, everything becomes really, really good. 214-787-1190. That's 214-787-1190. Here's some great bright spots in the auto industry that a lot of people, when I started looking at the numbers, I was really impressed. The Buick Encore up 53%. Invista up 54%. Chevy Trax up 57%. Trailblazer, 21% gain. HRV gained. Hyundai Elantra up 25%. The new Nissan Kicks up 84%. Sentra up 36%. Get this. Nissan Versa up 156%. The Volkswagen Jetta 37%. The Teos up 43%, which is a Volkswagen SUV. Things are really, really looking good with a lot of certain models, especially with Nissan. Everybody thought Nissan was going out of business. They're not going anywhere. And their numbers are up, and I hope they continue to go up. The new Nissan Armada is out. If you haven't driven it or seen it, go to burlesonnissan.com and check out the new Armada. I'll be out there next week doing another ride and drive and review, and we'll get that posted on the website and let you know all about it. Good morning to my beautiful niece, Leanne. We're going to miss you tomorrow. She has the best Easter gathering in the world.
Except it's a little wet today, huh?
She's got her farm opened up, and I don't know how many hundreds of eggs they put out. And you see all these beautiful kids running out and gathering the eggs. And then my sister, when you get an egg with a number on it and you open it up, then you get a gift as well. And then her husband, who I just love to death, has the coolest grill in the world. You ought to see Nathan's grill. It's the coolest. And he's always out there cooking for I don't know how many people. And it is just a day of hugs and loves and kisses. And we're going to miss y'all dearly, but hopefully we will see you soon. Give my love to the entire family. And happy Easter. He's risen. He has. 214-787-1190. What do you think the hottest line of products is it's selling?
I'm going to say the Toyota Camry.
And why do you think that is? Here, I'll help you. I'll help you. Look at that word right there.
I was going to say that. Hybrid. That's a big thing right there. And it's, well, that's what they should have put all the effort and money into way back when they were shoving EVs down our throat is all about hybrid. It covers all of everything that you'd want.
Hybrids are on fire. They can't build enough of them. We don't want them to build them too quickly and have any recalls or issues with them. Electric vehicle sales have slowed down. Gas kind of is, a lot of people saying it's a problem. The reason the prices have gone up on gas is you have the switch over from the winter fuel to the summer fuel, and you'll see prices going down. Forget all the tariffs. Prices are going to go down. Drill, baby, drill. Prices will go down. So the hybrid sales are incredible. In fact, I had a couple of people that just upgraded their Toyota Camry and were blown away by the value they got, and then bought the hybrid and are just absolutely in love with it. And I'm telling you, the hybrid technology is the big deal. And then hybrid diesel technology, hybrid technology. It's just incredible what it's
Honda
doing.
with their hybrids.
Yep. Sometimes, depending on the brand, they're going in and people are ordering hybrids because they're selling out so quick. And there's a lot of hot products out there that are hybrids that people are on a waiting list. Not that long, sometimes a month, depending on the product. If you really custom order, design them, maybe 60 days, but they're getting out the orders very quickly. And that's why the hybrid sales, even for the domestic people they always think Toyota and Honda and hybrid. What about Ford hybrid? They're up 33, 35% right now.
With that Mustang?
Do what?
They're selling heck out of that Mustang, huh?
Well, that's all electric.
Oh, that's right. It's all
Yeah, the Mach-E.
Mach-E.
Yeah, it's all electric. They have all the hybrids out now, your crossovers, and they're killing it. The numbers are really up. The CRV hybrid, that thing is on fire, up another 33, 35%, and it continues to grow. You're seeing double-digit increases with GM. GM's technology continues to grow and grow and grow, and they have different partnerships going on right now to how do we build better. It's so funny that everybody stayed in their own lane. And the first one that I can recall that came out of their lane was Ford and Mazda. When Mazda had the B210, they shared that motor and engine with the Ford Ranger. And so that's when I got into Ford. You'd open up the hood and, you found out that, that's who was building that motor and transmission. And it was amazing. People, I don't ever buy imports. I only buy domestic, and they're buying Ford Ranger, not even realizing that Mazda was taking care of the motor and transmission. Well, fast forward. Now look at what's going on. All the different crossovers and all the sharing of technology. Why do you think that Toyota bought part of Mazda and Mazda got a little chunk of Toyota? Because they're both building great products. And how do we make better? Kaizen, making better. I remember when I went to the Toyota factory and I won the prize because a buddy of mine goes, hey, when you get there, they're going to ask you what Kaizen means. It means making better. And so I get there, and right when we get there, he goes, okay, real quick, who knows what Kaizen means? I was the only one to raise my hand. And he goes, what? And I said, making better. Come on up. So I did share my winnings with a buddy of mine, but that is the direction that these manufacturers are going. Hang on a second here. That technology could work for us as well, but you just don't hear about it. There's a lot of people that show up, and if you knew how many parts were cross-referenced or shared, or where they're coming from and who's building them, you would be blown away. Because there's so many people that are brand loyal and product loyal. And you can believe how many people I talk to. I only drive. I'll never drive anything but. And I get it, but it's amazing when they go out and test drive it, they're just blown away. In fact, I had one guy, he told me, I loved every car I drove, but I'm still buying them. I get it. But there's a lot of great sharing going on right now across the.
I think a lot of times people that do that, it may be about who they're buying it from. Like they've dealt with this dealership, like El Dorado Chevrolet, 9-time dealer of the year. You feel comfortable with that dealer. So you're going to go maybe buy that particular type of car because you've had such great success there.
Oh, 100%.
So even though they may like another brand, because they not only like the vehicle, but they like who they're dealing with.
Well, you look at one of the big car companies, I'm not going to say who it is, or dealers, those people say, I will only drive this car. I will only buy from them. I'm on my 15th one from them. And they're not looking at anything else. And so that you're right. Once somebody I never thought about buying it, but they buy it. And then the reliability, durability, and the customer service after the sale, they're hooked.
Right, exactly.
Why change? And I have a couple of guys that they won't drive anything but Lexus. But every time I turn the key, every time I pull up for service, and you can tell me, in fact, he goes, he drove the new Land Rover. He drove the new Land Cruiser. She pulls up in a brand new Lexus. Even though he goes, it had more of what I wanted.
1 minute.
I liked everything on it. I like the old reliable mindset.
Right. Sold on the whole big picture.
Yeah. And so, that worked. But there's great products out there. There's great product sharing. And it just continues to make these cars better and better. We get back. Where are the best incentives in town and more here on the Automotive Edge Radio Show on 1190 KFXR, part of the iHeartMedia Network. Don't go away because we'll be right back. Look like a little break in the weather. Is it all muddy out there, Leanne? Y'all get a bunch of rain?
I think it's going to rain some more, though, this afternoon.
It is. And then late tonight is supposed to hit real heavy.
Is it again?
And then be out of here by noon tomorrow.
I'm going to check my little weather wrap. Looks like we're still getting rain up in my neck of the woods.
Yep.
Let's see what's going to happen here.
It's going to come across us.
Yeah, you should be getting it too.
Yeah, we're right there on the northeast of Fort.
Yeah. It's coming.
What time is that?
Let's see. We'll go back. Where you at? Right in there should be good.
And right about the time the show goes over,
Yeah.
goes off, and the rain clears out.
And then it comes back.
Yep.
I'm going to miss us a little bit. Ooh, we're going to miss that.
Yeah.
Well, we don't
What
know.
time is that? Yeah, and then they say tonight at I think like close to midnight it's going to pick back.
Well, okay. Check my little hourly. 11 a.m., 90% chance of rain. Noon to moderate thunderstorm ends at 12:45. 5 o'clock, 40% chance of rain, 60 at 6, 75 at 7, 85 at 8. Then on into the night, scattered thunderstorms, raining all night. Possibly. Then 1 o'clock tomorrow, sunny and 65 degrees.
Yep. I don't want to turn my sprinklers on till Tuesday.
And then Wednesday, we got more rain coming.
Yeah, and then Thursday.
Thursday and into Friday. Next Sunday. It's good to get all this rain in here.
Mhm. April showers bring May flowers.
More mowing.
I'm looking forward to going out to Scarborough Fair.
When is that?
Get started next month, runs for a month, and I can't wait. Maybe it starts the end of April. Anyway,
Well, I know who knows. Jason Long will tell you exactly when it runs.
No doubt.
They deck out and dress up. That's a big deal for them.
Yep.
They love going out there.
Grab your turkey leg and
Watch
walk
all
around.
the
Yeah,
entertainment out there, what they
he
have.
brings his own stein out there, and yeah, him and the missus, they're all up in it. He got that old handlebar mustache all greased up.
Yes, sir.
Have you ever been?
No, I haven't.
So we need to grab the wives and go.
I'd love to.
I'm gonna call around and get us some tickets. I'll find us some tickets.
Well, you know, Barbara Ann's gone for 10 days on a cruise starting May 3rd.
What are you gonna do?
I'm not telling. Secret.
You'll write it down, then burn it.
I'll give you an envelope that it's sealed and only open it if they can't ever find me again.
We'll do like Mission Impossible.
Right.
This tape will self-destruct in
Yeah.
1 minute.
If I come back, destroy it. If I don't, then you can open it.
Yeah.
Where I might be.
Come back, and then Barbara Ann goes, "Hey, come to Bo's funeral."
Yeah.
He did it again.
Did it again. Don't leave me alone. 10 days is an awful long time to be gone.
That's a long cruise.
Well, is it 7 days or 10?
She's going down to Neck of Nowhere and then heading down to the coast.
Mm-hmm. With
Who's she taking?
well, her oldest daughter, Tatum, her husband, and 4 grandkids, and Barbie.
Wow.
Yep.
Taking a Carnival?
No, they're on Royal Caribbean.
Wow. Good for them.
So, as you can see, I'm not going.
Yeah.
I hope she has a better.
They
time
got your
than I
picture with every travel agent.
have. I'll be on the lookout. They got my poster up on every cruise ship.
Yeah. 214-787-1190 is the number. That's 214-787-1190. This segment show brought to you by Classic Buick GMC in Arlington. Go to classicarlington.com. That's classicarlington.com and check it out. There, another group jumped on that employee pricing, and I was out there talking to Jermaine. And I got to tell you what, those Yukons are flying off the lot. Not literally, figuratively. And the Yukon XL, those things are rocking. Then you get into the Sierras and the discounts they have on the Sierras. And I got to tell you, they're moving. And when I talked earlier about the Buick Encore and the Invista, it's amazing. People are waking up going, hang on, Buick isn't just for grandma and grandpa, for everybody. And you get inside them and, all the way to the Buick Enclave, which is one of my top picks for 2025. Absolutely incredible. Buick has done a phenomenal job. And I've gotten over the fact that I wish they would have kept Oldsmobile instead of Buick, but they're doing a great job with the product. You get inside and it's good looking. The ride, the drive, the comfort, absolutely wonderful. And then you got the big bad boys if you want to go push that button. Have you seen that commercial? Just push that button. And then you got the big old Hummers that can do the crawl. They've got electrification. They've got commercial. They've got the big 3/4 ton diesel. And they got people movers all at one location, classicarlington.com. As for Jermaine Pearson, the general sales manager, Jermaine Pearson, my buddy, you will meet a nicer guy. I mean, the guy, he's just gold, and he's brings the energy. He brings the excitement. He's darn glad to see you. So log on, Classic Arlington, make the appointment. Ask for Jermaine. Let him know you're listening to the Automotive Edge radio show. That's classicarlington.com. So here's your biggest incentives. Jeep, they've jumped up 61% on their incentives to $4,500. Volkswagen, who, when they announced they were going all electric, they lost a lot of followers. And then they're going, maybe we ought to pull the reins on that. They're up 44%, $4,970 average incentive. Kia up 41%, $3,000. Mazda up 36%, $3,200. Subaru up 36%, and I had to tell you, $2,261. Subaru has always been the low man on the totem pole when it comes to incentives. They're not a mega distributor of cars, but they have one of the most loyal bases, 7.2 years of ownership on average. And so they really don't need incentives, but they do. This is the highest I've ever seen it. Honda's up $2,600, and Honda's never really been big on incentives either, or Toyota. You'll see it on the Toyota Tundra, but you really don't see it on the any of the cars or SUVs. It's just not that big a deal because they sell so well and their turn rate is so high. They just don't have to incentivize them the way other man. And the other thing too is there's not a lot of markup in them. And so the big money obviously is going to be on your pickup trucks, on some of the big SUVs, and then your slow turning inventory, which we'll keep you updated on. If you go to theautomotiveedge.com, click on Ask Kurt, send me a message. I'll tell you where the best buys are in today's market. If you're looking just to save money, because here again, nobody really builds a bad car. Nobody does. And so we're going to get you with the right dealership, and then go spend the time test driving. I can't tell you enough that you're missing out on so many great products by a no haggle, no charge, free of charge test drive, and go spend some time. So go to theautomotiveedge.com, click on Ask Kurt, leave me your name and number. We'll keep you updated on where the best products are with the best incentives. If you're just going, hey, what's the best deal out there? Where can I save the most money? I need this car. I need the car to do this or do that. We're going to hook you up. And it doesn't matter how many vehicles. The record is 19. We had a couple went through 19 vehicles till they found one. And they kept going, hey, we're sorry. We don't want to bother you again. You'll never bother me enough. It'll never be that big of a deal. We'll get you taken care of. Go to theautomotiveedge.com, click on Ask Kurt, and we'll help you out. Luxury brands that are doing really, really well: Cadillac, Genesis, Land Rover, Lucid, which I'm not in on, Porsche, and Volvo. They are on a fast pace selling vehicles right now, a fast pace. And so,
what is Lucid?
It's all electric product. I think it's ugly. I've seen it.
Lucid, you got some explaining to do?
It's
that's Lucy.
Yeah. I mean, look wise, I got two buddies that own Lucid, and they absolutely love them. They're,
where are they made from?
Huh?
They're made here?
Metal.
Where are they made?
Here.
Okay.
I don't get it. if I were to buy electric, it's got to look cool. I mean, it's got to look cool. And there's only very few cool electric cars out there.
True.
And ain't one of them. But kind of like Rivian.
I guess that's a good name for it, Lucid.
Yeah, when I saw the Rivian truck, I went, my gosh, that thing's ugly. I have a buddy that owns one, and he brought it over, and he is just proud. Oh, my gosh, is he proud of that truck. And that's fine. You get inside, they're definitely cool. They will fly. They'll run faster, move quicker than anything on the road. Then I step outside, and I go, uh-oh. Yeah, I don't think I would have put that one in my driveway, but, different strokes, different folks.
Well, that's probably the reason is probably a lot of these builders of those kind of vehicles are techies.
Yep.
Like they're so dynamic with the technology of it, but they don't have a clue about design.
Yep. Well, some of the luxury brands that are going to get a little thin, Audi, Jaguar, and Land Rover have suspended shipments to the U.S. in response to tariffs. If this continues, they say, look, the luxury line is going to way increase in price. That's not necessarily true. They will, those products, but the other ones around, as long as those cars are coming over, they're going to be salivating and turning their inventory and doing really, really well. So don't buy into the BS. Don't buy into the Chicken Little syndrome. Always go to theautomotiveedge.com. I'll keep you updated with the latest, greatest, and the most important information to make sure that your automotive needs are taken care of each and every time. Maddie, are you there?
I am here.
Oh, well, I thought we were going to break a little bit early for being the top of the hour, but I guess we're not.
Yeah, we can break. Let's go.
Okay, let's go. Top of the hour. I'm watching this clock. You got Major Maddie. You got to be on top of your game. Let's take a quick break. Top of the hour. Don't go away. We'll be right back.
I've always thought we were going at 58 is when we're out, or 57.
Yeah, I thought it was 57.
I did too. But she's on top of it.
Well, I'm not going to have my normal lunch on Saturday today.
What do you normally do? Go get your
Barbecue.
Did you do it yesterday?
I didn't.
You said you were going to. You text all of us, said you were going.
I did. I had a half a dozen Angus meatballs in the fridge.
Decided to just do that.
Warmed them up. Put a little Parmigiano on them, and kicked it.
So why do you get the turkey and not the bologna?
They don't have bologna.
Oh, do you scold him about that?
He had it, and actually, even in Horizon 76, his restaurant next door, he took it off. He said he was throwing too much bologna away. Boy, he put a cut about that thick, smoked it, and then seared it. A little cheddar cheese and mustard. Nobody would buy. I think I was the only one buying it.
Really? Well, I think 407.
Bologna burn ends. He's like, what? And I said, bologna burn ends, buddy. Just try it. Just make a big old thing of them and say, while it lasts, bologna burn ends, and watch how quick they sell. But you got to burn them and then smoke them. A lot of people smoke them and then burn them. I don't. You put that little bit of burn on them and then smoke them, a little salt.
So what do you do from the bologna to make it a burn end?
You
roll it? Take it. What do you do?
Roll it.
I don't know. I'm asking the question.
Cut it thick, about inch and a half thick.
And so you got the round, thick.
And so you cut it twice and then twice.
Okay.
Almost like a checkerboard.
Okay, I got that.
And then you got the big chunks.
Okay.
Then you throw it on the grill and you move them around to where, there's two ways to do it. Some people do that. For me, I will take a skillet and put the whole piece of bologna on there and scorch the heck out of it.
Before you cut it?
Then I cut it, throw it on the smoker with it already in the sauce, and just let it sit in there and smoke.
What kind of sauce?
Just regular barbecue sauce.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. I like Baby Ray.
Sweet Baby Ray.
Yeah, like it. And then just let it sit there, and I'll take some apple and cherry wood and get that thing just as smoky as I can and put it in there for 45 minutes. let all that smoke get into the sauce and the meat. Boy.
Good eating.
Yeah, and you don't want to bury it in the sauce.
Right.
You want to get it to where there's a little bit on it. So you stir it, and then you throw a little bit more smoke on there, and you want to keep part of the meat above where it's absorbing that into the charred part of it. Oh, butter.
Butter. Good morning, Risa. Hope you're doing good.
Hello, Risa. I don't see Risa.
She only likes me.
Narissa.
I don't know her as that.
I was thinking about her the other day. Oh, Cindy Green posted a picture of all the Vicas, the vintage Vicas. They came back one year, and they covered the whole football field from one end to the other.
Wow.
From 72 to wherever they stopped it, and did a routine out there on the field, and it was really, really cool.
Did you join in?
No, but you know what? One year I was given the Vica Bow Award, and the drill team chose me because I helped them sell a bunch of candy bars and raise money. And they brought me out on the gym floor at a pep rally and made me Vica Bow. And it was 50s days, and I had my hair all greased back. And
Are you ready for
leather jacket on, and they didn't know where I was.
They gave you the award because you're booming.
Yeah. I just got a date on the mic.
Greatness.
Even hesitate down the garden gate. There's not much time today.
214-787-1190 is the number. It's the Automotive Ed Radio Show, helping you with all your automotive needs. With your buying, selling, trading, leasing, parts, service, or body shop, we are here to help. Go to theautomotiveedge.com, click on Ask Kurt, leave me your name and number, and let's get started. Remember, moms and dads, graduation's coming up, and the MMR is changing, and it's not for the better. It's not to lower the price. MMR, Manheim Market Report, it is adjusting, and it is going up because of the need of pre-owned automobiles. And the numbers are up. I mean, the SAR is adjusted to, what was it, 17.8 million. That would be a incredible record year for the auto industry. I mean, incredible record year for the auto industry. When you look at double-digit gains, Buick, Cadillac, Chevrolet, Genesis, GMC, Honda, Kia, Land Rover, Mazda, Mitsubishi, Porsche, Subaru, they're rocking. I mean, they are selling a lot of products. I want to talk about something real quick. A lot of people are. I got, you wouldn't believe how many emails last week going, what about these addendums? I'm like, negotiate them. Negotiate them. You know, it shows up on the buyer's order. I saw one the other day, $3,700 in addendum. If I were you,
do they already have that on the car?
Most of it. There's some dealers that, and I get this part of it. They order what 90% of the people want anyway, which is wheel lock, window tint.
Right. Get that.
A lot of the SUVs, they're getting the rear mat, you know, to protect the carpet, you know, and put that back there. So those are the things that are very common with the dealers. One of the problems that we're facing in this industry that you, the consumer, don't know about, nor do you care about, and I get it, is the fact that the manufacturer is squeezing the profitability out of the car for the dealer. They're squeezing it out. I wish they would stop. You know, you're paying, let's pay the unions more. Let's pay the employees more. Let's pay the executives more. But the salespeople, the frontline soldiers that if they're not selling, it doesn't matter about anybody else, are the ones that are getting punished. That's why we have so much turnover in the auto industry, is their pay plans need to be better. They need to make more money, and the margins are being squeezed.
If they don't understand how important that is, let them walk around the malls and see these department stores that don't have salespeople anymore and see what's happened to them. That is the reason why department stores are folding, because they don't have salespeople anymore, I believe.
Yeah, well, they've taken away all the commissions. They just put them on hourly. You know, I was in a store the other day, and this girl was sitting there at the register, and she looked angry. I said, "How's your day going?" She goes, "Can I help you?" I said, "Come on, your day's got to be going better than that, sir. What do you need?" Like, wow. I love that commercial where they're showing the lady on the Six Flags commercial. She's a hospitality supervisor.
Oh, yeah, that was a
And
good
she got that
one.
terrible look on her face.
This is my fun look.
Yeah. Buddy, I am running into that all the time. But here's the deal. You have to incentivize your employees somehow, some way. And with the manufacturer squeezing these prices so much that when I sold 12 cars in the day, I made good money. Now that 12 has to be over 20. It's not good. And I'm tired of hearing the manufacturer, well, we're taking another this percent out for future investments and future technology. BS. You didn't do it before. You don't need to do it now. And honor the salespeople that are working 70 hours a week, sometimes more, and reward them with more room between invoice and MSRP. You can do it. It's just whether you want to, whether the shareholders are more important than the people that are actually selling the product. Never figured that one out. You've got that funnel turned upside down. But sometimes I digress. They're talking about 17.8 million vehicles being sold this year, which means January, February, March have been phenomenal months for a lot of manufacturers. Reason being incentives. And it won't be long where you're going to start seeing rates come down, and it's going to give it another boost. The problem is going to be getting people to trade their cars in. And that's where these 3 and 4 year old cars are in such high demand. The problem is that people, when the virus hit, they paid so much for that car. For the ones that didn't put a good amount of money down, when you're paying, $2,000, $3,000, $4,000, $5,000, $6,000 over sticker, and you're not compensating that with cash, you have a very big negative equity situation. And I'm running into that every day when these appraisals are coming over my website, because you can go to theautomotiveedge.com, and when you click on Ask Kurt, if you look down, there's an appraisal form there, and we simplified it, where all you're going to do is give me the miles, the VIN, and a description of how clean you think your car is. That's all I need. I'm going to give you a number based on what you tell me. And I had a gentleman the other day that had 12 grand worth in negative equity, one with 14, one with 22, and then a bunch of $6,000, $7,000, $8,000 in negative equity, a bunch. And they're like, what do we do? Well, there's two things out. Either come up with the cash or lease and roll as much of the negative equity as you can into the lease. And at the end of the 3 years, it all goes away. You start over. But right now with the SARS at 17.8 million to keep this on track, a lot of the tariffs will go away. They cannot continue to run their factories and build vehicles and build products and go, we're just going to hold on to it until President Trump changes his mind. Doesn't work that way. Look how many countries are like, wait a minute here. We can't shut the whole system down until we get the tariff wars taken care of. They're like, okay, we're on board. We'd rather have something than nothing. Some people are just too ignorant to figure that out. But eventually they will when they look and their warehouses are exploding with product and they're not loading it on ships, and the ships that are in the ocean right now are going in circles or floating, going, how long can we do this? Well, not much longer. And then a lot of things are going to get back to normal, and then they're going to start to get better and better and better. And that's why I'm excited when I see a SARS, which is sales annual adjusted rate, of forecasting of how many vehicles will be sold this year, what we're on track to do. You got to realize in the auto industry what that equates to. So Bo has the advertising company. I have the insurance company. Another person has the supply chain. Then you have all the brokers that are handling all the supplies coming to and from, the truckers, the fuel, the factories, the employees, the TV advertisement. I mean, I can go on and on the tent companies.
Yeah, shut
tire
down the
companies.
automotive business and see what you got.
Oh, wow. You talk about devastating an economy. Absolutely incredible. Because you think about the tariffs, hasn't hit the industry like people think it's hitting all the other products. You know, you got that goober up in Canada going, oh, we're going to put 125% tariffs on aluminum. Okay, well, let's see how quick that aluminum pack piles up when the United States is buying 68% of your product. How long can you let that product pile up? And then it piles up and they say, okay, we're ready to do something. No. Now we want it cheaper because you got all this excess of product. What do you want to do? And eventually they give in. This is an ego thing. That's really what it is. It's not common sense. Common sense would say, okay, let's create a great trade process here for everybody, and everybody benefits. That's not what's going on.
One of the things that I know that when you have been in a position to where you're making so much off of, and I'm just going to use it, take it down to an individual. I'm making so much money. Say I finance something for you and I got a high interest and I'm making $500 off of you. Then you come to me and say, hey, that's too much. I want less interest or whatever to get that lowered. I don't want to do it because I'm already making $500 off over you. Why would I want to lower it down to $250 or $300? Because I'm going to keep you at $500. I got you just locked.
Yep.
Well, once people realize, well, I don't need you anymore, I'll go somewhere else. And now I'm not making nothing. I wish to God then I would have gone ahead and lowered it and made something.
That's right.
And that's what's going to happen to these companies.
Egos get in the way of common sense.
Exactly.
You know, there's a couple of big companies out there. I'm not going to mention their names, but they're telling you they're going to give you protection for as long as you're with their company. It's not going to change. It's not going up. I'm going, wow. And so I called a buddy that's affiliated with me. He goes, man, we are up 1,000%. I'm like, holy schmoly. And it's in writing. This price here will never go up unless you add more coverage, but the initial coverage is not going to change as long as you're paying that premium. I'm like, phenomenal. And realize that here's the thing. Prices have already been set. Prices have already been set. It costs what it costs to build it. This is egos that are raising the prices, nothing else. Just like the cars, when they heard that you got three, was it Jaguar, Land Rover, and Porsche, they're not sending cars in the United States. Guess what? The price to build them didn't change.
Right.
The price to ship them didn't change.
And the estimated amount that they were building didn't change either.
Yeah, they didn't look over their shoulder and go, wait a minute, we're not going to get this. We can't build it for that. That has not changed. The deal is the egos to go, hang on a second. Let's see how long we can just fight this. You're going to give in sooner or later to make right. You can't make wrong right, but you can make right. Real simple. 214-787-1190. That's 214-787-1190. Quick break. We'll be right back.
Yeah. When they realize that nobody's getting any money or getting fed and they're going to go, wait a minute here. It's supply and demand. And as long as people understand that if I have in the business of growing corn, stock corn, or, not the wheat corn or whatever, actually corn on the cob. And I got these big bushels of corn on the cob.
No BS about that bushel.
No. And I want X amount of dollars for it. And people looking at me like, you're crazy. I'm not buying that for that. How long is it going to be before I'm going to be willing to, wait a minute, I got these big old things of corn here. I'm going to starve to death.
They're fixing to rot.
Or they're going to rot. Or I'm going to be living the rest of my life on corn.
It's going to turn into feed.
I better do something about it. You're going to be, you're going to be lowering those prices. And that's what needs to
Yeah,
happen.
you held on it because of your ego.
Right.
Now you have to give it away to keep it fresh.
That
and keep
is a
product
great
going.
point. You actually end up going to where you could have gotten a better price if you'd have been more realistic about it. Then now people are going like, well, if I'm buying your corn, you got to sell it to me half of what you were trying to sell before.
That's right.
So,
And we've seen that.
definitely.
Oh, you're not going to sell it to me? All right, have a good day.
Right.
And all of a sudden the phone rings. What if we came down? Nope.
Always the case. You're never going to pay when that person calls you to get you to buy it versus when you are wanting to buy it. Always.
Just like the girl that does the White House spokesperson, she goes, the phones are ringing off the walls. They're like, well, hang on a second here. The ships are full. They're not emptying, and everybody's standing around. Maybe this wasn't such a great decision after all. You know what, Mr. President? We're in. Can we unload that boat? Give me a break. And then you think about all the people at the shipyards. They're just sitting there stagnant going, hang on, we can't release this because of the tariffs, and we can't reload it because the boat's gone. I'm going, you know what? It's amazing when there's a new sheriff in town and the laws are rewritten to favor the American people. And one thing that I wish that the people in Congress would quit saying is what the American people want when you lie about it every day, when you're lining your own pockets, you're not taking care of the American people. And you know, I have people all over the United States contacting me. Well, that's not true. I've got people all over.
Well, they may be
everywhere I go.
But I bet the percentage isn't as much as what people are calling and saying we are happy about what's going on, because I see that all over the place in different areas of searching, and there's way more people high-fiving what's going on than the ones bitching about it.
Well, the thing about it is that the right guy is in the warehouse, is running the country, and the warehouses,
and he's got the people around him to know how to do that too.
And they're going to have to empty the warehouses sooner or later, and it needs to be sooner than later, or you're going to lose your butts.
Yeah, you're going to
then go one of those deals. Bam! I could have had a V8.
Yeah,
that V8 moment is going to get you. And you know what? I have been in the business where people say, well, here's what they're doing down the street. Do you want to do that? And I would just go down the street. And all of a sudden, I look up. I'm like, where is everybody? Then my new sign went up. And guess what? I had to go cheaper. I couldn't match what they were doing because they're like, why are we going to leave when we gave you that opportunity? And now we're down here getting what we want. What are you going to do better to get us back? And I was like, hang on a second. All of a sudden, my margin shrunk so much just to get them back. And I went, and all I had to do was just a little bit. They don't even want to do a little bit.
Well, they're going to have to, or they're going to be out.
Yeah.
So we'll just see with what Americans buy from overseas, how long they're willing to stick their head in the sand.
Yep.
And when you stick it in there long enough, you may not be able to get it out.
You know, I was talking to a guy at a convenience store, and I said, on all these gas pumps, I see all of this, especially like a QT. He goes, you would not believe how much we run the register when you buy a Coke and you get a free taquito. I didn't realize that a 20-ounce soda is now $2.
Right.
I didn't know. I don't drink soda that often.
Right.
And I went, wow. And he goes, so this cost me 20 cents. This cost me 65 cents. And I'm making $2.
Well, here's the one
selling for $2.
Well, here's the one scary part about things is that, say you're buying a certain brand of coffee, and they decide to go like, well, man, it's going to be too much to buy that because you're just jacking with me. So I go to another coffee brand, but hey, you know what? I'm pretty happy with that coffee brand. You may not get me back.
Right.
And that's what they're playing with.
Are you willing to roll the dice?
I may not be willing to come back. You've tariffed me out to where I'm just going somewhere else. And now that you want to come back and play fair, I don't even want you anymore.
And in the auto industry, you know how many people said, look, if you're not doing the deal, I'm leaving.
There you go.
And I used to work for guys that were so greedy, I would say, and then they would tell me I'm weak. Wow, you're just a weak closer. I'm like, hang on a second here. greed is a dirty word. It's a dirty word.
It's scary.
And in the auto industry, you know what? I remember when I started running my first dealership, I called all the salespeople and I said, here's the deal. I'm going to give you these numbers, and I want you to work to get to this number. If you can get to that number, I want to talk to your customer. I want to find out why. Did they not like you? Did they not like the product? Or did they not like the price? Which one was it? And it was amazing what the consumers would tell me. But a lot of people don't want that information. They just want the money. We don't care how we get it, what process we go through. Just give me the money.
Right.
And when I started managing dealerships, I'm like, time out. And it's amazing when you look at a consumer and go, you know, there's three reasons why people don't buy. In fact, I did it at a dealership not too long ago. I'm sitting there listening to a salesperson. He was struggling. I go in the sales desk and say, hey, let me take a turn. They went, we thought you were just a radio guy. Went, okay. Now that that's out of the way. So I went in and I sat with the consumer. I said, let me ask you a question. My name's Kurt Chase. I said, look, I host a local radio show. They're one of my sponsors. I've been kind of listening to what's going on. I just got just a A, B, or C. Would you mind playing along? They all do.
Sure they do.
I said, so there's three reasons why people don't buy. You know what it is? And I went, no. I said, it's the person. You don't like the salesperson. You don't like the process, or you don't like the product. Which one of the three is it? And it's amazing they don't immediately go, it's the price. Very, very few say that. And it's never really the price. You know what it is?
It's usually the process, or maybe
No.
over the salesperson.
It's the fact that the customer won't tell you they can't afford it.
Oh, okay.
So you come in chest out, you're with Bar Brand. Hey, I'm going to buy a car. And you wouldn't believe how many guys this has happened to. They chest out and whatever she wants, and then you hit them with a price. You know what they say?
Their chest deflates.
No, let me think about it.
Oh, okay.
I'll get back with you.
Right.
And so when I talk to him and I say, is it the person? Oh, no, great salesperson. Was it the process? Well, it's kind of taking a little bit long. Okay, that could be part of it. Is it the product? And you know what they said? It's not what we wanted. I said, what do you want? And they said, can you help me with this? I said, you got me right now. And I'm free. I'm not getting a commission. He goes, well, actually, we don't care about all the electric seats and the air conditioned and the heated. Although it had the biggest discount, it's still not where we
So they're
want to
not
be.
telling you that it's the price, but they don't want to spend the money for the stuff they don't really want.
And they'd rather just tell you, let me think about it.
Right.
And they're not thinking, they already thought,
Mm-hmm.
but they don't want to tell you, I can't afford it. Very few people, when they come to a dealership, they get all excited, they get caught up, they drive the vehicle, they fall in love, and then you hit them with the price and they go,
Ruh-roh.
hey, I tell you what, that sounds fair. Let me get back with you. Instead of finding out up front, that's why I always tell consumers, sit down with your salesperson before you even look at a car. Unless you already know. If you already know what you can buy the car for, you have that budget, you know you have good credit, you know what the interest rate's going to be, which is only about 25% of shoppers, that you go into the dealership and go, Bo, let's have a seat. I want to buy this pickup truck. This is my budget. I may not be able to buy new. I may have to buy pre-owned. Is there something based on, I want a quad cab truck? Most of them come with power locks and power windows anyway. I don't need the big fancy wheels. I don't need the electric tailgate. I really don't need a lot of that because here's what I'm trying to accomplish. Can you help me? But consumers, they say they want an easy process. And they don't want all the haggling. They don't want all the back and forth, but they're not willing to share the basic information. Because if you look at my 4Ds, I always say, don't give out your social security number. Don't tell them what you want for your trade. And don't give out your budget right up front. Just sit down and talk with them. I do have a trade-in value. If you know you're going to trade that day, go ahead and get that car appraised and then sit down with your salesperson. I'm looking for a light-colored pickup truck. I'm looking for a light-colored SUV. It's my wife and I. We have 2 kids. We need a little storage in the back for the soccer balls, the baseball equipment, whatever. And we have a certain budget of $450 a month. That's where I need to be. So we can save us a lot of time and aggravation. And so they come back and they give you the trade evaluation and you put your deal together. But when you don't find out what's really ticking with Kurt, and Bo tries to put this car deal and shove it down my throat, I'm going to say, hey, Bo, I really appreciate your time. I love the heck out of that vehicle, but you know what?
You gotta go
I didn't
think
think about it.
And that's where it leads.
And
right
then
there.
what do you go tell the manager? Hey, I got this Kurt Chase guy out here. He's a real butthead, and I've done everything. But then when you sit down, and so I talked to him, and I said, he goes, you know, the salesperson actually told me it's their oldest unit in stock, not good, and he can work the best deal on this one, not good, but we don't want it. I said, so what would your ideal vehicle be? I said, come on with me. We went outside, and this guy, man, he's chest out. He walked right at me. He said, that one right there. I said, really? He said, that would be the one I'd put in my garage. Hang on a second. I went and got the keys. What did you do? We need to drive it because you drove that one with all the goodies on it. Let's drive this one here because it's still got a lot of goodies on it. Just you didn't want the heated, cool seats.
Right.
And so we drove it, and he comes back, and he goes, really, who are you? Are you the owner? I went, no. This is what fascinates me about the auto industry is to spend time with you to see really what happened and what's going on. And if we would do more of that, we wouldn't have to worry about the be back bus. We hope you're going to be back. Chances are they're not because they're going to go to the next dealer and go, now I want that one. I don't have to tell them I can't afford it or it didn't work out or I didn't like you or the process. And put the car deal together. And so I came back and the guy goes, what's the deal? I said, here, go ahead and write them up. They'll take the blue one. Here's the price that they're asking for, and they're happy with the trade. And he goes, what do you mean? He was shocked. And I went, when we got done, I said, look, I don't have all the answers, but I got a lot. And when you sit down and you actually find out what's going on with the consumer, you don't have to worry about them going, I appreciate it. Now, you are going to have shoppers, but when you have a buyer, man,
One of the things I learned
details.
they taught us back in the day about working with a customer is learn how to listen.
Yeah.
Listen.
What's the old adage? You got 2 ears and 1 mouth. If you listen twice as much as you talk,
Yeah.
you'll be all right.
Exactly. And, I learned that. And also, still with your eyes. Still like what you're seeing with the people and how they're getting along and their age and all these different things. Try to find out and questions about them. And when you get that, you'll have a better idea.
And you know what? Everything you just did, you also did with your hands.
Yep.
And when you have customers moving their hands and they're not down here and
Right.
close-fisted, you got something.
Exactly.
214-787-1190. Let's take a quick break. Don't go away because we'll be right back.
Well, I know that a lot of people already when they come into a dealership or any place, they're guarded. They don't want to. They're fearful that they're going to be forced into doing something that they don't want to do, and so one of the ways I think that they could solve that, I'm talking about the buyer, is to be more upfront. Not less upfront.
Yeah.
Because if you're going in with the attitude of a wall, you're already losing. Now, I'm not saying that when you go in there and you're open and you're letting them know a lot of things, whatever, doesn't mean it's always going to work out. But you still got the decision to make whether you want to do business with that person or not, based on how all the transaction goes. But the more that you let somebody know what your interest or desire is, the better off you're going to be.
Yeah, when you oversell, when you totally oversell, it's so hard to bring them down.
Mm-hmm.
That's why we tell salespeople, add to, taking away is a booger.
No doubt.
When you take them out and you show them a platinum edition vehicle or a luxury edition,
and they fall in love with it after they drive it around and they come back and they can't afford it, dude, that's game over.
Yep. I remember when I started selling trucks, I would take them out and I'd show them the XL. This is our entry level. It's the XL. It has this, and this, and here's the price on the truck. Well, I really need power locks and windows. Fantastic. Let's go to the XLT. It has this, and this, and this on it. Yeah, that's more up my alley. 1 second. Are you looking for a light colored truck or a dark colored truck? Well, I'd like one in white, silver, whatever it was. I'll be right back. I'd pull that truck up. I knew my product and I knew my inventory. Let's go for a drive. Because when I started, 48-month financing was taboo. It was 36, then went to 48. Average interest rate was 14%.
Mm-hmm.
You had to be game on to go, okay, that'll work. Obviously, the vehicles are a lot less expensive, but I'm going still. When you think about back then, that was still expensive then. Brand new vehicle was expensive.
Would you tell them a ballpark figure so they wouldn't ask about if they were planning? Like, you just assume that most people probably finance their vehicles. So if you were doing that to a vehicle like that, from that first one to that second one you're talking about, you can say that's probably going to be an X amount of dollars more per month than that vehicle. This is probably going to range in that, but for X amount of months, this is probably going to range that, to give them a little bit of an idea what they might be looking at before they get all excited about that vehicle.
Well, a lot of sales managers, they call it fender trading, and they don't want you doing that a lot with the customer. They don't want you talking interest rates and payments and this, that, and the other. So I would keep it very simple. So when they came back and say, well, would you incur this? Because they knew I was fender trading.
Right.
But I always educate the customer and say, hey, by the way, my manager is going to ask if we talked about numbers. Absolutely not. Wink, wink. And they were all on board.
Right.
I said, I can get you in and get you out and get you a deal. But I would tell them, what do you think $300 a month buys you? And this is on a 5-year note.
Right.
Well, I don't know. Okay. Well, 60 times 300 is 18,000, but you got to pull out taxes and you got to pull out interest. Now where are you at? Oh, about a 15,000, 15,500.
Right.
Like, oh, we didn't think about that.
See, and I think that relieves a lot of people. That there's a real release that comes from them to know, now I know what I can deal with here, and now I'm not going to waste my time driving around in this vehicle that I'm getting excited about and know I am not going to be able to get it.
Yep. If it's a Chevrolet, it's 9-time Chevy Dealer of the Year. El Dorado Chevrolet, over $13,500 off on a brand new Chevy Silverado quad cab. Only at El Dorado Chevrolet, 380 and 75. Our buddy Jason Long, Rusty McDonald, Jazz Gill, Mark Welch. Stop in and see any of them. They want to make sure that your Chevy needs are taken care of. $5,000 off all remaining Malibus. And then you look at your Chevy Equinox, your Trax, your Blazers, your Trailblazers. They're discounting everything. Tahoes flying off the shelf. Tahoe and Suburban Diesel flying off the shelves. No need to panic, because if they don't have it, they'll get it for you. The plays start online right now at ElDoradoChevy.com. That's ElDoradoChevy.com. So Bo and I were talking off air, and I want to bring this on air, is that everybody has a budget. And I will help you and make this very, very simple when you're out shopping. So let's do simple math. What is 400 times 60? $24,000. Okay, so your budget's $400, and you go, okay, well, that'll buy me 400 times 6, that's $24,000. Well, that's not how it works. If you take that $400 a month and you're thinking, okay, I can afford a $24,000 car. Well, you can if you have down payment, but you have to back out tax, title, and license, 6.25%, about $800 in fees. Okay, you got to back that out of it, and then your interest rate, whatever that rate's going to be, and you can figure about $10 per point. So if it's a 10% rate, that's $100. Your tax, title, and license, if you're buying a $20,000 car and you figure in the TT&L and around $28 per thousand, wow, that's another $160 a month. And so it's really basic math, but it gets complicated when you look, okay, well, if you can get me between $440 and $450, I'll buy the vehicle. Well, you just got to remember, back that out. $300 a month. I get a lot of people, I want $300 a month, where you need to be on about a $15,500 to $16,000 vehicle to balance to finance. And then 300 times 60 is $18,000. Okay. It's just really simple math. Okay. So when you're out shopping, that's a great way to budget to figure out $400 a month will buy you about a $21,000 car with a good interest rate.
Once everything's settled in with the taxes and all the interest and everything.
Now, if you're paying TT&L down, which I always recommend, don't finance your taxes on a car note. If you can, put that in cash down because that's negative equity. When you go to trade in and you finance tax, title, and license and everything, that's negative equity. And that could be thousands of dollars. So for every $1,000 that you're putting down, you're backing your payment off about $30 a month. For every $1,000 that you're adding about $30 a month. So when you're sitting and you go, okay, $400 will give me the $22,000 car, but I really wanted these options on it. So another $2,000, that's going to put me at about $450. It's really, really simple math because we're figuring the interest rate. Okay. Now, if it's zero, it's real simple. You take the selling price of the car, $25,000 times 6.25%, which is your sales tax. It's not 8%. 8% is on retail products, not cars. 6.25%. About $800 in fees. Then divide it by the term. That's your payment. Real simple math at zero APR. And then if it's 2%, add another $20 to it. If it's 6%, I mean, just keep doing math. Add $60 to it. And that's how you figure it out. The only thing that you can't figure out on things like that is leasing. A little bit different depending on what the money factor is. You know, every 1,000 could be in excess of, $35, $40 a month that you're putting down based on what the rent factor is, which is the same as interest when it comes to leasing. But I can help you with all that. I mean, you're probably going, man, my head's spinning with all that information. It's really basic math, but you want to know what you're doing before you go in there. I had a couple the other day looking at a $42,000 rig, so we're on $400 a month. I said, we don't have term longs enough for that. If you figure 60 times 400 is only $24,000, how are you going to get $400 a month on a $42,000 rig? Well, I know, put 20 grand down. And then you get your $400 a month payment. But it's a bad way to negotiate. And all it does is it gets you mad. It gets the salesman frustrated. You're there forever. And we want to wipe all that away. And just, and I tell people, well, I guess I'm going to have to hold off. That's fine. Maybe look at pre-owned or certified pre-owned. Maybe lease a car. I don't know. But there's a lot of people that go out there and say, okay, I'll give you $500 a month and you're on a $45,000 truck.
Well, the great thing about what you're saying is if people have an idea about what you just shared with them, it keeps them from going to a dealership and then finding out after they get there and all the negative energy that starts having to go to a pre-owned car or less than what they want. It's really better to know what you can really do.
Sure.
I mean, I'd rather that. I mean, it's you go, then you can go, well, okay, it's not what I would really love to be driving, but this is what now I'm more realistically looking at, and I'm okay with that. So when I go to the dealership, I'm in a better mood.
Yeah.
I don't want to go in there and get in a negative mood.
Get your hopes up and then go.
Yeah, there's nothing worse than that.
Yeah.
I don't think so.
And I have it all the time where people come in and go, okay, well, I just thought I could buy it for that. That's not really what they're doing. They're out testing water. They're out shopping, trying to figure out.
I think a lot of people think they can. I really do. I think people can't think for a while, $450 a month, I'm going to be able to buy a $40,000 car.
Well, you know what
I
it really
do.
is? A lot of that's poor advice. Just make them do it. You wouldn't believe how many people come out and go, well, my dad said, or my mom, my friends got it for this. In fact, I had one the other day said, hey, Kurt, your payment's $150 higher than what my friends got it for. I said, what was the details with your friend? They bought the exact same vehicle for $515 a month. Really? The same scenario. They did. I said, okay, well, here, then do me a favor. We're going to hang up the phone and call them and ask them what the down payment was.
What they did there, right?
And guess what?
It was a lot.
They had a trade-in, so they paid half the taxes, and they put $3,500 down.
Mm-hmm.
And she goes,
Ruh-roh.
what about this tax saving on it? We don't have a trade-in. Okay, then you're going to pay the whole amount of tax. So they saved $2,000 in taxes. That's $50 a month, which is around at 25. Okay, they put $3,500 down. Okay, let's go per 1,000.
Well,
there's your difference.
But if they also had some value in their trade, that goes towards
Well, it was a bust on their trade.
Okay, I got you. But they did.
But they only paid tax on
Right,
the difference.
right. I got you.
And they went, oh. And I said, so you're having to make up $5,500 more than what they did on their car scenario. And they went, how did you know that? I said, because for me, it's basic math, but it's not what a lot of people like to hear. I want the same deal Bo got. Well, okay, well, let's look at Bo's car deal. If I can do what Bo did, you're going to get the same deal. But a lot of times it's the fact that it was either a trade-in or money down. And I hear that a lot. Hey, my buddy, he was over at your sponsor, and, you know, he got a quad cab pickup truck, and his payment, true story, $610 a month, okay? Mine's 700 and whatever, 732, whatever. It's kind of an odd number. I went, okay. Well, what's the difference? I said, well, call your friend. He said, what do you mean? I said, ask him how much he put down and did he have a trade? So what you're telling me, you can't get me the same deal. I can get you the same deal if we're doing the same thing that your buddy did.
If we're doing dollars for dollars, if you're looking at, okay, it's 45 or 50,000 and 45 or 50,000, if it's matching dollar amounts, yes.
And
no
you know
problem.
what? His buddy knew me, and he called me. He goes, hey, Kurt, let me help you. He said, I put $4,000 down. And part of it was in excess of the value of my trade.
Right.
And the other was cash. And I went, did you tell him this? And he goes,
no, I want to make him suffer.
I did. He's trying to put you together. So I called him back, and he goes, so can you do the deal or not? I said, you're not going to believe who I was just on the phone with. And he goes,
right.
Okay. I said, you know, we're $4,000 apart here. And he goes, what do you mean? I said, that's $100 a month. And he goes, based on, I said, he had $2,000 equity and $2,000 cash. Let me call him. And he goes, so he called me back and he goes, can you get me closer to 700? I went, no, buddy, you're buying the car at employee pricing and you're not putting down TT and you're not putting down nothing.
You want to walk out.
You got excellent credit. That's why you're getting a better rate. But just your TT and L, buddy, that's $75 a month. He's like, oh, wow. And I'm like, yeah. Oh, wow. So when you're saying my buddy got this deal, find out your buddy's deal. And there's some people that your buddy doesn't like going to dealerships anyway. He ain't going to lie to you. He's going to tell you, I didn't put no money down and I went in and I got that deal. And lo and behold, the math doesn't work out. And I can back a car deal out real quick and figure out how you got to that payment. This is not rocket science for me. If you bought a vehicle for $48,000 and you got the preferred rate, I'm going to tell you exactly what you paid for that vehicle. And if you had to trade in wherever the cash came, whether it was equity, trade difference, or cash, I'm going to be able to figure it out and say, hey, here's what your buddy did. Whether it was trade in, equity, or cash down, that's what they did to get to that payment. And then you have a better gauge. But it's good to find these things out versus just walking in going, my brother bought the same vehicle, or let's take a look at
well, the best thing to do, what we're talking about, is just go to theautomotiveedge.com. Then if you have it comes on and says you have a question, just hit that, leave your name, leave your number, say, help me with this status before I go.
Yep.
Know before you go.
Yeah. You can walk in. If you go through me, all you got to do is drive it, review the numbers, press hard 3 copies, and go home.
And not have any of this nonsense.
Yeah.
You can know before you go whether that you're going to be able to afford a such and such vehicle.
Yep.
Kurt will tell you that, and you won't have to be embarrassed at a dealership.
Quick break, 214-787-1190. Don't go away. We're going to get things wrapped up on this Easter weekend. He has risen. We'll be back.
Or one of my shows I watch called King of Queens.
What?
Love that guitar lick.
I didn't catch it till you did that.
It's pretty cool.
My wife likes that show.
Yo, it's a great show. I wish you'd get tuned into it because it's excellent. So
Isn't that the guy that played the mall cop?
yes, yeah, it's an awesome show, man. I don't know. I'm surprised you haven't got into it. It's one of my all-time favorites.
Really?
Yes, and
He's the one that left Scientology and they came after him.
Yeah, exactly. That's sweetheart too. So they're sitting on the couch. They have all these little opening things where they actually get in the show. So she's sitting on the couch. He's sitting on the couch, and they're changing channels, and she goes, "Oh, look, Soul Train," and she says, "Let's dance," So oh, well, okay. So he gets up and just starts doing crazy. I almost did that and sent it to you. And she's dancing really good, and he's just all over the place. Finally, she's
Kind of
just
like Elaine and
like that,
Seinfeld.
stuff like that. She finally just gets so deflated, she just sits down at it. But it's Soul Train, let's dance, Yeah, you need to watch that. It's on Peacock. You have that, right?
Yeah.
Just start it. It gets a little
King of Queens.
King of Queens. You got to give it a shot. Like, don't just watch one episode. You got to get going. But once you do, it's really some funny stuff in there.
What was the movie with the two brothers? Everybody Loves Raymond.
Oh yeah,
I thought that was okay.
Yeah, I did not. I didn't care for it that much.
I thought it was okay. It was one where there wasn't a bunch of cursing, sexual innuendos, drug problems, alcoholism. It was.
Well,
I thought the dad in there was hysterical.
Well,
he made the show.
Yeah, but King of Queens, her dad lives with them in the basement, and that is what's his name? God, I got to tell you.
And he got the red hair and the mustache.
Yeah, well, he don't have the mustache. It's
yeah, I don't think I've ever watched it.
Oh, it's excellent.
Huh. King of Queens.
It's with what's his name?
Yeah.
And his son is a big actor too. Here it is, cast. Jerry Stiller. Ben Stiller's his son.
Yeah.
That is such funny stuff, man.
Huh. I'm going to have to watch it.
Yeah, it's really good.
It's always hard to find series that either it just goes off the rails and there's a bunch of stuff where if I see certain things, I just turn it off.
Well, it's really good. You'll like it. She's a cutie.
Yeah, I remember when she left Scientology, boy, they come after her,
yeah,
man.
She went after them too, though.
Yeah.
She didn't give up on it. But yeah, it's a really good series. And his best friend is this guy. They work together, and the dialogue between all these people is so good. It really is. You'll like it a lot.
Growing up, I used to, for whatever reason, I watched MASH for a period of time, and then it
died off a little bit.
Yeah, I'm trying to think what else. What sitcom I enjoyed? Archie Bunker. I didn't get it because I was too young. My pop and my dad would just sit there and laugh their butts off. I didn't really get it too much, but I think back on some of the stuff that I loved the most was, the Munsters, Three Stooges.
15 seconds.
I can go through, a bunch of them where it was just good, clean. Petticoat Junction, Green Acres, great stuff. Dennis the Menace, he just passed away.
I know, I saw that.
And it was just good, clean, fun. He always had that slingshot in his pocket.
How you doing with Hell on Wheels?
Whoa.
Digging it?
Wow. Yeah, they just got back from taking on the Indians, and then they had that stake mark where they finished the 40.
Right.
And then it took another turn. And that Swedish guy, I know he's got it coming. He got it coming.
Don't you just hate that guy?
I do.
Boy, if they ever created a character that you just want to smash right in the face, it's that guy.
Yeah, we quit watching where he tells them, the Swede's got it in for you. He's got all this information to the marshals, and then it ended, and that's where we stopped. But something's going to happen to him. You can't. He reminds me of Lurch.
He is a meanie.
Yeah, he's playing both sides of the fence.
Oh,
that never
always does that. Does it always.
Hey, thanks everybody for joining us. I want to thank you for all the comments and everything, because I'm not. I don't keep my faith secret. I don't keep it tight. I let everybody know. I I am a Christian, and we do celebrate Easter. He has risen, and I just hope everybody has a great Easter and remember what it's all about. You know, when Christmas comes, we say the reason for the season. Well, it's every day. And now this is just another highlight of, you know, the stone removed 3 days later, he rose from the dead in fulfillment of all the scriptures. And this is a great time to stop all the baloney, all the hatred, all the anger, put it aside for what our Lord and Savior did for us, to allow us to be here, to have a good democracy, and continue to be free, and to share our faith, and now to pray out loud and bring prayer back to the schools. And a lot of great things are happening. And so I hope everybody has time to go to church. If not, grab it online. And I'm excited about seeing all the grandkids and family tomorrow. And but I never take my focus about why. And I share that with my grandkids as well, you know, and I pray with them each and every time. We're at the movie theater last night before we even ate. And I want my grandkids to know, and I hope that you know, and put everything aside. You know, put the guns down, put the megaphones down, put the hatred down, put the anger down.
I'm not putting my gun down.
Great Easter. I know you're not. So happy Easter to everybody. Remember, if you have that automotive need, whether you're buying, selling, trading, leasing, parts, service, or body shop, let me help. Don't wait till the last minute for your used cars, because they are going up. The MMR that a lot of the people look at. See, the dealers have this computer system, this software, and they go in and they load their cars in. They're looking at it every day, and they see the arrow, the green arrow, pointing up. And when they see the prices are going up, guess what? They go into the computer and they type it, and they raise their prices as well, according to the market. And it's not across the board. The comment that the guy, that my buddy Brent was talking about, he said, so everybody's raising their prices. No, it's not true. They're raising their prices on where they know they need to raise their prices because the market's going up. If you go to the auction or watch the auction online like I do, you'll see some going up, some going down, some staying steady. When you see that Land Rover, Porsche, and BMW are not shipping cars in the United States, what does that do? Well, it starts raising the prices. It brings the used car values up because the dealers are going, hang on. If we're not going to be getting these new cars shipped to us, we're going to have to rely on pre-owned like we did during the COVID to stay viable, to stay operational, to stay open. How long is this going to last? When they wake up and go, hang on, we got to create a level playing field. We've taken care of, we've been taking advantage of the United States for all these years. We got to get back to a better flow, better pricing, better level playing field. Just the way it's going to have to work, period. Or you're going to see, but here's the thing, it's going to push a lot of people to other products. It's going to push them to a lot of other products. And that's where they're going to go, hang on a second. Now the car's gotten there and they've already bought something else. Now what do? Now they've got to discount the heck out of it, come out with massive rebates and incentives to go, yeah, that was a real bonehead decision. And there's a lot of bonehead decisions being made right now, and just hang on. I'm telling you, don't put your faith in man. Take time to pray about it and just hold on. Everything's going to work itself out, like the stock market. A buddy of mine called and said, yeah, you happy with your president? The stock market just went down 3,000, 4,000 points. Okay. What do you think is going to happen tomorrow? It's going to go down even more. Well, he called me and it went up 2,986 points. And he goes, well, aren't you happy? No. I was happy yesterday when you called, and I'm still happy today. You're the unhappy one. I think that whole thing's rigged anyway. This is my own personal thought, but I don't rely on that. My happiness is not in the stock market. My happiness is not in tariffs. My happiness isn't what any of this is going on. I find other happiness, and I work the rest of it out. It's not easy. It's not simple. It's just the way I'm wired. You know, plus I get to hang out with Bo. I mean, what more do you want in life?
I'm his penance. That's what it really is.
I kind of think we're each other.
That's probably true. I'm not going to argue with that.
But good having Jim Wagner and Charlie Davis and
All the folk that's been on the
everybody.
show
Ty
today.
Jimin for calling in today.
And we'd like to let you know that we're here every Saturday morning from 8 to noon here on Talk Radio 1190. And if you've just joined us or just recently got a part of
1
our
minute.
show, we're on social media sites too. We live feed on Facebook and on YouTube and LinkedIn. So like and share that and join us if you got comments. But also tell people if you don't do any of that, you would listen to the radio, tell people as you go about, hey, I found a place where you can go and get a lot of information that will help you with any of your automotive needs.
That's right.
30 seconds.
Next Saturday, live, Grapevine Dodge. Come see us. We'll have it on the Automotive Edge Facebook page where we're going to be. Remember, turn off those electronics, get reconnected, tell that person you love, and have a fantastic Easter. Remember, he's risen.
Happy Easter,
care.
Maddie. Love you.
Love you, Maddie. Happy Easter.
Somebody's trying to reach you. Thanks, everybody on social media sites. Have a great Easter.